Ladies and gentlemen, oops, wrong one.
Oh.
Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dinner and a Game. Let me make sure all the audio is working before I waste anyone's time. Everyone is anyone. Say stuff.
Hi.
There we go.
Stuff.
Everyone
Stuff.
seems to stuff. Yes, stuff is stuff.
Yes,
and
we do
things are
seem to be
things,
stuff.
And
We're made
people
of
is
stuff.
people.
And stuff is stuff.
Out.
Eat.
That. Boom, boom, boom. Yay, everything works. It's the bestest thing ever.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm turning off my jellyfish. They're a little distracting.
You're turning off your jellyfish.
I'm turning off my jellyfish. They're throwing me off.
So
much
better.
I finally can be myself.
Yes, air the
Oh, no, not the fish
Still doing the eyes.
Wait,
Still doing the
Sam.
eyes.
But Sam,
Burn
remember
the heretics!
Remember.
Burn the heretics! Burn the heretics!
Kill. Hey guys,
Oh,
is that a
yeah.
record of how long we stayed on task?
No. We didn't even.
Record.
Oh
I
my
have to-
god. It's going to take us
yeah,
fucking
I
an hour
can't.
just to get through saying hello.
no, we will get through this.
It'll
Okay.
take
Hello.
two.
There, I
We
said
will
hello.
get through this. Together.
Together.
There you go.
With the power of friendship.
And maybe that guy's arm.
And ADHD meds. That's
Yeah. Just so much
am I
mess.
supposed to be
so
mad?
much meds.
I have not been medicated.
Intelligence
in
is
my
a
life.
dumb stat.
Intelligence is a dumb stat.
Attention is a dumb stat.
Attention is definitely a dumb stat.
Oh my
No,
god.
no, intelligence
always.
take effort, and we have no fucks to give.
Yeah, well. We're not
We
here to
have
give
a
fucks.
color
We're,
glitch
we're here
units
for
as
the
well.
chaos. Ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, welcome to Dinner and a Game. Thank you so much for being here. Rob is a Cyclops. And
Aye, Captain.
we are here tonight because
one
it is Wednesday. And Wednesday means it is time for Kingdoms of Mist, where this group of Chaos Gremlins gets together and attempts to play D&D in between dick jokes and all kinds of other shit that goes on. And I just try and survive as long as possible without having a stroke. And it's coming. I'm coming to see you, Elizabeth. It's
Phrasing.
coming. You by the way, did you see the new emotes?
Oh, I saw it. I could not be
They're
more
so
happy.
good. They're so
I
good.
didn't look.
Please tell me there's King Admiral.
No, I haven't made him
I
yet.
saw that
haven't
one.
made him
Damn
yet.
Not yet.
That one's in Discord, but it's not in because I had to change the size of it and I have to make sure it gets all in there.
I demand it.
I'm gonna fix it. Just give me a minute. Oh my god.
No time.
But no time. No time like the present. Go cancel the stream and go do it.
Go do it.
So anyway, we're trying to play D&D. We really are.
That's why we do this.
That's why we want to come here and to play the D's and D's. There it
I
is.
do need some Play with D's. the D.
Phrasing.
I need the D's.
So, but yes, we
Shorty
are.
wants the D.
Oh
and the
my
D.
Oh
god.
yeah.
With some extra D.
Oh boy.
I would like some D in your D. I got some D in
I
your
got your
D,
D in
inside
me.
your D.
Isn't that called
Would that be
stalking?
you- Wait, hold on. I think that'd just be a rogue skill. It's deception.
Oh.
Oh.
God.
I don't know
I
whether
actually
I'm
really
proud
like
of
that.
that. or
Good night,
something.
everybody. Good
Sarah
night,
took
everybody.
our perfectly good smut and turned it into a dad joke.
You don't
Look,
dilf
I
the
got
jokes.
out
He's
of
not
practice.
even
You
a
don't
dad
dilf
yet.
the jokes. Dilf jokes are not.
Yet.
Mm.
Yet.
Oh.
You can't make them until you are.
Oh.
I can practice.
I can
Doesn't count
practice.
for you, darling.
All right.
You're fine.
So, if you haven't noticed, we have a missing spot. Milagros is not going to be able to make it tonight. She is caught in the throes of moving in New York, which, if anyone's kept up with her apartment hunt, you know how much chaos she's been going through. And although she has her lease signed, there's still more chaos to come because her apartment wasn't ready when it was supposed to be.
Gotta
So
love apartments.
yeah, so she is basically staying with family until the apartment is ready, and that does not give her any access of anywhere to stream from. So, Milagros, we love you. I hope you get into the apartment as quickly as possible, and we will see you when we see you. You will always have a space at the table. You know that, so don't even worry about it. And we are going to continue on because we have chaos to instill in the world, and I have the crew to do it with. So dun dun dun. Speaking of chaos crews, how is everyone doing?
It caused myself a lot of pain.
What was that?
I caused myself a lot of pain. But other than
Yes,
that,
yes,
great.
we have. Oh wait, I need to change
You're
something.
no longer bleeding. That's the important part.
Yeah, well, you're no longer bleeding.
As long as
much.
it stops, it's fine.
It's fine.
And it all stops eventually.
Yeah.
That got darker than intended.
That got darker than intended. What?
That's what she
How
said.
dark did you intend it to go?
I mean, I was just making a joke about like being injured, not consequences to injuries.
Oh, Drake knows nothing about that, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think Drake knows the meaning of the word consequences,
It's
but
I'm
it's
not
just
sure
it's on a
if he knows
list. It's
that
on a
it's
list.
a word.
It's a word. It's a word.
It's on a very
Is it-
long list.
Is it a word for Drake though?
No, it's not a word for Drake. It's just a word.
It's just words.
I mean, they all are just words.
Oh, that was
everything
real
is
for a
just
second.
words unless you make it more than words.
Until you put words.
More
Until you
than
put meaning to words,
Oh,
which
no.
is just more words.
I never
So,
realized.
Let's
Area.
start out by doing a little check-in with everybody and see how everyone's doing. Sphinx,
Yeah.
Sphinx, you're my only hope at sanity now. How are you?
First off, that's a lot of pressure to put on me, considering how
Maintain
very
your
little
sanity.
sanity I have of my own. I'm doing all right. It's been a very interesting day,
Yeah.
and I am coping and dealing and screaming into the void and
Beware it
hoping.
screaming back.
The void loves me. I'm fine. The void's used to my antics.
That's not a safe place to be. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I know. The void loves me, and I love it back. That's all I can do. Yeah,
It's an all-consuming love.
it's an all-consuming love.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
what I meant. That's what I mean. Eventually, it will eat you.
Eventually, as it eats us all.
Story.
Phrasing.
I said what I said, and I stand by it. Otherwise, I'm here for the shenanigans. I'm here for the refill on spoons, because that's what this is for me. Otherwise, I will be carrying grapefruit spoons and sporks, which for those of you who have had grapefruit spoons, they are not blunt at all.
They're bladed.
They're serrated, my friends. Serrated.
Well, there goes my only hope for
Serrated.
sanity.
So that's how Joker got those scars.
Wanna know how I
Yeah,
got these scars?
too much grapefruit. There's too much grapefruit.
Air.
Hi.
I have given up trying to save myself with Sphinx. Can you save me?
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Yay.
Yep, that's about what I should have expected.
It's true.
Okay,
So,
sorry.
how are
It's
you
fish-based.
doing?
Serious.
On
I'm
a
doing great.
serious- On a serious note,
Yes. Yeah, feels so much better. Much less dysphoria now that I don't have like shadow on my face that just bothers me after every time I shave.
don't worry.
So it's worth the agony.
It's worth the agony.
I
You
mean,
know,
just wait until
5
you rub
hours.
your face on something.
Oh
That's,
god, it hurts so
Oh.
much right now. It is literally
yeah,
like a
when-
raw
when-
bruise. Yeah.
When your skin grows back.
Yeah, then it'll be great.
well, no, his
Then you're
skin's fine.
Yeah.
It was just all the pores have been
Pores,
ripped
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to clean them, just not a fun way.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't suggest it. It was
Who needs pores?
Who
Yeah, like-
needs
I rather enjoy my pores. I like them where they are.
where they are.
Much.
I wish they were
Oh,
That could be
smaller,
misheard
but I
so
could- I could-
easily.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say the pores are probably still where they were. They're just empty of anything that what they were supposed to have in them.
That are useful.
Like all
Yeah,
the
feels-
glands and the follicles. Nope, no more. Just a
Nope,
big
none of
hole.
We know, like the I don't know how to describe. It's like
Sam is
not like
dead.
pins and needles, but like you know how your hair sort of like it feels things for you. Like you
Oh
can.
yeah, like when it lays
Yeah.
wrong and you're like, just,
It's like
What is
yeah, it
happening?
feels off. So
Yeah.
It's
I
off.
hate it. I hate
The
it.
extra
You
sensory
part your hair on the
perception is
wrong side,
gone.
and you're like,
but yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much for being here. Sphinx, who are you playing today?
I am playing Valestein Okal, a Kalistar, triple-souled bard, and shadow sorcerer, trying to figure out what all of this is and what he's going to do with his semi-broken heart.
Semi-broken heart. Oh, and Air, who are you playing?
Because 4-letter words are great.
They are.
it's true. It's
amazing.
true. Do
4
love
is my
me a
lucky
four-letter
number,
word.
so I guess I did that subconsciously.
You
There
did.
you go. And Cassie,
Yeah.
how are you doing, Cassie?
You know, I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. It's halfway through the week, and I get to spend halfway point hump day with
Hey.
my friends.
Yeah.
Yay.
So, who
So
are
there's
you
that.
playing this evening, Cassie?
I am playing the pure, sweet, innocent, very, very stupid baby.
Take it back.
Baby druid. No, she's stupid on purpose. Baby druid, Callie.
Slightly
Force,
necromantic.
Mushrooms.
Slightly.
Yes. We're Wednesday Addams, but Wednesday Addams light.
Yeah. Wednesday Addams, but, more of a forest coloration type thing.
But make it a powder puff, girl.
Which
my God.
one?
Wednesday Addams.
Buttercup, but if she was a
Cottagecore Wednesday
necromancer.
Addams.
Buttercup, but if she was a necromancer.
With a side of Lisa Frank, because we'll
I'm here.
put colors all over everything.
I like it.
I still don't know who Lisa Frank is.
Neither do
Oh,
I.
just
It's okay.
Google
So-
it. Just
Liz-
Google
Okay,
it.
apparently I gotta
This-
Google
No,
this.
just better yet, better.
Wait.
Just Google Lisa Frank binder.
Binder?
No, like you could just do Lisa Frank. You're gonna get all the stuff. I mean,
Gotcha.
you
will
will
like
understand
binders is
what-
in what I think of when I think of binders.
Not that kind of
Oh,
binder.
No,
Wow.
no. Like Trapper Keeper cut binder.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay, I totally remember this.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh man, I
Okay.
had that
Chick in
that
the
kitty
childhood.
folder.
Oh my god.
I had so much, so
So
much Lisa
much.
Frank, so much Lisa Frank.
I did not.
Oh,
have this, and
okay.
I'm very upset now.
Wow. All right, so now I know what that is. Lisa, how are you doing?
I am regaining spoons by the second at this point.
Good, wonderful. Cat. I'm a kitty cat.
And I didn't There's a filter for that. We were playing with it earlier.
And who are you going to be playing tonight, Liz? There it is.
There it is.
I am playing the shifter barbarian Lex Hardpaw, who is a little bit of a cat.
Last name is
Man the filter.
Hardpaw.
I
Oh,
demand
no.
the filter.
The family dug real hard into that shifter bit.
Yep.
Oh my god, I love it.
Crazy.
I love it. I love
Crazy.
it.
And finally, Sam, how are
What
you?
is up, y'all? I am doing all right. I am not looking forward to having to work tomorrow, but you know what?
Just
I'm not
drink.
going to let that stop me. I'm not going to let it beat me down. I'm going to go into work tomorrow with the attitude of I am going to beat the day's ass, and I'm going to do exactly that.
Hell's yeah.
It's consensual. We established that it's always consensual.
Today asked for it.
Yeah.
They asked for it.
Today asked for it.
And,
Today
and
was
they
a bit of
always
a
and
brat.
they're gonna tip well for it too. So there you go.
And they're gonna take it.
Not
Take it
wrong.
like
It was a bit of a
man.
brat, and they get what's coming.
And Sam, who are you playing this lovely evening?
Tonight, I am playing Drake, the group's rogue, who seems to not understand the concept of
Anything?
self-preservation.
Self-preservation. Yeah, that's a big one on the list for him. That is up there. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will be playing our Kingdoms of Mist campaign, which is a D&D 5e game run in a homebrew setting that I created, that because I really kind of wanted to have the Treasure Planet experience, but the stuff for not Skybanders, what the heck?
Spelljammer.
Thank you. The stuff for
Skylanders
Spelljammer
is
hadn't been
great.
released yet.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it is on pre-release now. If you guys want to pick it up, I've already got mine pre-ordered. But the Spelljammer stuff wasn't out yet, so I conceived of a little closed version of Spelljammer, and made this world for these folks. And so far, it has been a very unique experience. But we are going to be continuing on with our adventures in just a few moments. But first, I wanted to remind everyone, if you want to help support this show, there are several ways you can do it. First off, number one, just for following us here on Twitch, which is one of the best ways you can support us, is giving us a follow. We will automatically be entering people in to win the mini of the month, which that was not it. So let me find it real fast. But we'll be entering people to win the mini of the month. And the way that happens is we do kind of a lottery drawing at the end of the month, but you can get tickets by watching the show. And what happens is every show, there's a 20-minute period where we give away tickets that are be used for the drawing at the end of the month for the mini of the month. Now, those tickets can be earned in two different ways. If you just follow us, you will automatically get one ticket per show that you're watching if you pick it up during that 20-minute period. Now, the other way is if you subscribe to our channel, you will actually get 2 tickets, and that you will be able to acquire every single time you are watching the show during that 20-minute period. And this month, at the end of the month, we are going to be giving away this mini. This is the Avatar of Orcus. It is a demon prince, a demon lord, I should say. It is on a large base. This is a 4K 3D printed minio from Loot Studios. This is a company that only makes the 3D printable files. They don't actually sell the minis themselves. So the only way you can get this movie, hey Crip Walker, the only way you can get this mini is by either having a 3D printer and printing it yourself, or by basically winning it here. So we're going to be giving this away at the end of the month. Also, if you did not know, we also have a giveaway here for our Twitch channel, and that is this. This is our D&D core set. Now, this is a limited edition core set, so it is the foil printed covers. These are shiny, these are sparkly, they look different than the standard covers. This comes in a box set in that black slip sleeve, but it also has that GM screen that comes with it. Now, we're going to give that away when we hit 1,000 followers here on the massive Twitch channel. And that is I'm hoping going to happen before the end of the year. Right now, we're sitting at about 886. We're sitting at 886 followers right now. Yeah, we're doing very, very well on that progression. But as soon as we hit 1,000, we'll be giving this away. Now, also, we're trying to hit a 1K on Twitch. So in order to do that, we are doing our best to incentivize people, sorry, not Twitch, TikTok. Incentivize people to go over to our TikTok and give us a follow there. If you do, when we hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, we will be giving away this. This is a 3D printed tower. This is 4 stories tall. It's about 11 inches tall, 9 inches wide. The front door opens and closes. There's a hatch in the roof that opens and closes. It has staircases going up between every single level. Also, these levels come off individually, so you can move your minis around inside of it. So this is perfect for wargaming as well as playing D&D with. And each one of the floors breaks down to individual pieces, so this tower will break down small enough to where you can store it in a high-top shoebox. And we will be giving this sucker away when we hit 1,000 followers over on the TikToks, and we are at 973. So we're like at 27 away.
Nice.
We're just creeping. That one, we do so much better on the other social media platforms. That one is just like creeping along, barely there. But also, if you want to support us, of course, you can subscribe here, and there is absolutely no way we could thank you for doing so. Every single dime that we get in revenue goes towards helping us do things like go to Gen Con, which we are going to be there this year in force, and we're going to have like I know Cassie's going to be there, Air's going to be there, Sphinx is going to be there. Liz can't make it because she has to work. Sam can't make it because the CDC sucks. And Milagros is going to be there, and we got a bunch of other people coming from a bunch of other shows. We rented one giant Airbnb because we're dumb and we're going to burn a house down. But anyone burns that house down, I'm going to be mad.
That's, oh my God.
I mean, mad should be the least of the things you'd be.
Yeah, I'll probably be burnt to a crisp, but that's not the point. But we're going to be at Gen Con. We're going to be doing some interviews. We have a charity stream that's going to be happening on Saturday night. I think it's in room 105. And we're going to be doing a charity stream with Katiosaurus. We're going to have Jeannie Loveday she's from several different fields. She's a freelance writer, but she works with Baldwin Games as well as Renegade Studios, I think. And she is going to be on the panel. And then we're going to have Ivy Shadow, Sphinx Sakasha, and Milagros are also going to be on the panel. And they are going to be playing a game that Katie is going to be running. Oh, and Katie's partner, Eric, is going to be on the panel as well. They're going to be playing a game that Katie is going to be running, which is Dread. And if you've ever played Dread before, it is a horror RPG, but you don't roll dice. You do pulls from a Jenga tower when everything's bad. And I have bought a lawn-sized Jenga set.
Oh my God.
Damn.
I love this.
So they are going to be playing Dread up there on the stage, and it's going to be from 10 to midnight on Saturday night. And so it's going to be fast and furious, too, because we only have 2 hours. So it should be Katie's already said it's going to be hilarious, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be great. So if you guys can make it, please come. Every single dime that we make from that, aside from the fees that we go to the event, all the money we make from that is going to go to the Trevor Project. And we are going to be doing donations during the show. I think for the first 3 pulls we're not going to do anything, but after that, we're like, one of the ones I'm already setting up is if you donate $1,000, and there's a reason for that. If you donate $1,000, the next pull has to be done blindfolded.
Ooh.
If you donate $500, the next pull has to be done on 1 foot.
Ooh.
And there will be others. I'm not going to try and bombard it too much, because in Dread, if the tower falls, you die.
You die.
So yeah, it's an all or nothing situation.
Oh boy.
Yep. So, but we're gonna see how that goes, and it's gonna be our first time running an event at Gen Con, and we hope everyone can be there and support us that's going. And of course, we're gonna try and set up things so where we can meet you guys. I know there's already being a big there's a big meetup being set up for a lot of the people on TikTok, and a lot of the Twitch streamers were setting up meetup. And so we're going to actually try and get together with some of you guys who might be there, and we would love to see you. Do not hesitate to come up and say hi if you see us. It will be a lot of fun. And other than that, I took longer than I wanted to, but thank you all for the patience, and let's get into some Kingdoms of Mist, shall we? When last we left off, you guys were assessing your situation. Drake was determined that you guys were going to get the ship. And Utopia had already volunteered to literally buy it. So there was talk with the captain of the Lady Harpy, and there were discussions of what was to be done. And then Jaegerhorn stepped in and was saying that they really wanted you to come with them to the Spindle, at least as far as the Spindle, so you could debrief some of his military commanders and other folks off as to what was happening. But Jaegerhorn was saying from there, you can go wherever you choose to go. Also, Jaegerhorn indicated that it might be much easier to recruit a crew for the ship out of the Spindle because there's so many refugees there than it is currently to get a crew here because Evertree is going to be under major construction trying to recover from the attacks. And they're basically it's going to be all hands on deck and they're not going to have anyone to spare really. So, what were you guys doing at this time?
Oh, who wants to go first?
I'll go. Val had been. So we were. I think when we were also like traveling, and there was like all the turbulence and all the craziness, right?
Yep.
So
you had actually just left that and pulled out. Remember?
Yeah. Once we got out of the turbulence, Val suddenly thinks, "Oh man, Izzy would have loved this," and then remembers he hadn't contacted her since he left the tavern that he was in residence at. So Val would have gone outside and cast sending and tried to send a message to Izzy, basically, "Hey, Izzy, it's Val. Sorry for the long silence. Lots happened. You all right? Please be all right. Found people like me. Heading to Spindle. Sending love. Okay, bye."
So when you do sending, you get what? Is it 50
25
or 25?
words.
25
words.
And when you do the sending, you know whether the person receives it or not. Where was Izzy exactly? Where was Izzy's inn?
It was like a mile or two outside of the capital city.
All right. Was it the first inn that you guys were at, or was it another one?
It was a different one.
Okay, gotcha. So you get a message back, Val, I'm glad to know you're alive, and I'm glad to know that I am at least a tertiary importance in order to be let known that you're alive. Be careful, Izzy.
And Val just breathes a sigh of relief. Oh, God. And then sends a message back. Where are you? Is the inn okay? Are you okay? Hope all is well.
You get a message back? The inn is fine. Doing well. Far enough out. Lots of soldiers.
And sends another message back. Okay, good to know. Stay safe. Fill you in as soon as I can.
Understood. That's it.
Cool. And then Val kind of like, okay, whew, this is it. She's okay. She's all right. All right.
So
Probably dropping down either from like the master, the rigging above, or just literally flipping up down. It's like, you okay?
Yeah. Just realized that I hadn't talked to my patron in a while, and so just sending her a message, letting her know that I was all right. That kind of thing.
You're what? You're a warlock or something?
No. I'm as a bard. So I have a patron who I was staying at their inn and tavern, kind of in residence, working and playing and what have you. I kind of like a work exchange program. I work and I work there and I play there and I get to live there while I was figuring out what was next and trying to all that stuff.
So kind of like a madam, but not a madam. Got it.
Yes, definitely not a madam. I mean, I think she was kind of sweet on me. It was a weird situation.
I was more
no.
Val is a busker, and he just happened to live in an inn, and he paid to stay there.
I paid in work, yes.
Yeah.
And occasionally I would share my tips with her. I mean, not that she needed it. Her inn was fairly popular.
Wait, normally patrons pay you.
Well, yes, but you're right. Did she?
Oh.
Did she swindle me? Has she been swindling me this entire? No, she wouldn't do that.
Val,
Would
were
she do
you
that?
sweet on her, or was she sweet on you?
She was definitely well.
The answer is yes.
That is great.
I mean,
That
she's
is great.
she's easy on the eyes for sure.
You got
but,
played.
you know, I didn't. Well, I got played. I didn't. Or did you say did I get laid? Because I didn't get laid. I've not gotten laid.
Oh
That
no,
did not
and
happen.
he got played.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Right,
It wouldn't
No.
be the first
right,
time
right-
I've seen
right
that
as you're
trick.
saying that, Remy is walking up, and she's like, "Oh, that's really more than I needed to know."
That's not what happened. Oh boy,
No,
you
no.
walked in on the
It's-
wrong part of that conversation.
Yeah, but you know, it's just it. Whatever happens, I mean, you're a grown up. That's
He's totally available right now. If you like, just so you know, he is completely available.
thank you.
Yeah.
I think she knows that.
Not,
But thank you.
yes, thank you very much. That's
I mean-
very considerate of you to offer him up.
Yes.
I mean, he
boy.
would be more available if you'd stop almost dying all the time.
He's like a prize stallion.
What is happening right now?
Wait,
Remy just starts laughing, and she looks at you and
Drake
she
is
says,
literally like holding on to the rope with one hand and like looping his legs over and is dying laughing upside down right now.
I can show you his teeth.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please do not do that. Oh, you are so lucky. You're my. You are. So, we're. Oh boy. No, I've considered myself many things, but not a prize stallion, like in the least. Not at all. Not
See,
even.
he's
like,
so humble too.
That
I
is.
know.
Oh boy.
"Oh, it's perfectly okay. I've seen him prance before."
Yes.
Oh boy. Look, that was one time. That was one time. We were kids.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
quite
that could
fun when
happen.
you get him up to a gallop.
You are never going to let me
Phrasing.
live that down.
That's a phrasing.
I'm very confused.
Remy says, so
I thought stallions, when they were prized, were used for breeding stock.
Oh boy.
Do we do that with people? Is that what you do on the surface?
Please no.
Only
I
if,
mean-
only if
Well,
you're
we're not
really,
going to turn Val into glue.
only if you're like
Oh.
super pretentious nobility. No, we typical people don't do that.
I am not to be turned into glue. Or to
That's
be
what I'm saying.
poured out.
Well, I mean, you can turn anybody into glue when you like boil them down far enough.
and candles. Remy says that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, the fat
Lie.
makes for good tallow, but
Mhm.
that's not what I. How do we get here?
You wouldn't want to use him for that.
We're on a
Remy's
ship.
just grinning and watching this
we're
all
on a
melt
big ship.
down.
It's flying. That's
Just-
how we got
oh,
here.
yeah.
We're still going.
I
though.
came over to talk to you.
Okay,
Val.
please.
This is-
me.
You-
Take me away from the
Giving
cash
thumbs
saloon.
up to Val, like it's going great.
You all are going to the Spindle with us. And she points back to the other ship that's following you. And I understand that this vessel is going to be commissioned to Utopia.
Yes, that's the plan.
This is so I am hoping that I can talk you into giving me a ride.
Rising.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Please tell me that was in character.
Yes.
Please excuse my friend. Where would you be wanting a ride to?
Well,
The stars.
I need to go to the capital.
Okay. Right. I haven't forgotten about that. haven't forgotten about that, and yes, I'd like to help out in any way that I can.
Thank you. I'm going to be taking some leave, and if you have the room, there are several other crew that are doing the same.
Okay.
And they would be more than willing to work for passage.
Okay.
But all of them have family in the capital, and the captain is going to be he's going to be taking on a lot of new crew.
Sure.
So we're just going to be rotating out for the most part.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would love to talk with you more about that particular situation. It doesn't have to be now, but I mean, I have questions. I have lots of questions. I have so many questions.
I mean, it'd be nice as well. I mean, you seem, considering you're one of this ship's best engineers, it'd be nice to have another person on there who knows about these kind of ships and how they fly. See what this other ship makes it tick, what sets it apart from the rest.
I hadn't even thought about that, but yes.
There hasn't even been a thorough search done of the ship yet, so there's a lot that's going to need to be happening. But I know you're in a rush, so when we get to the Spindle, we can talk more about it. She says, we're running pretty much on skeleton crew, so I can't take much time away.
That's fair.
Cruise.
Not that kind of skeleton.
Callie.
I know, but every time it gets me a little excited.
If it were possible, it would be one of the most cost-efficient crews. Not to mention, imagine rolling up on another ship and the intimidation factor of looking over and just seeing a bunch of skeleton heads just slowly turn to look at you.
Except you
it is most definitely possible. It might just take it just might take some time.
That's the point.
I'll have to think of other names.
We call that a dead man ship.
I mean, I've never heard of the undead being very good at being a crew. They don't exactly respond to anything, and you have to.
Oh no, they respond. You have to be very nice, though.
No, I meant they're
She's
not
very
quick.
convincing.
Well, it depends. Yeah, usually they're a little slow.
A lot of shuffling.
They're not really they're pretty clumsy.
They really drag their feet.
Oh.
But they don't die easily.
Well, you're not usually worried about that in the day-to-day operations.
Sure.
You know, if we get into a combat situation, it'd be that'd be wonderful to have people on that don't really care about getting shot. But at the same time, when you're in a combat situation, you don't want to say, tie that down and watch someone just slowly shambling over to it.
That's fair.
And then not knowing how to tie a knot.
That's what liches are for.
Cannot not.
Yes, they cannot not.
Who's there?
No.
Someone take him out.
Where? Take him out where? Because we're on a ship and we probably shouldn't leave the ship because we'll fall.
Well, yes, you should not leave the ship while it's still in the air. That is a very good suggestion.
Yes.
And I only usually like falling into bodies of water. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's the ground, and it's moving quite fast below us. So
that is definitely the ground.
Yes, lots of splashing and splatting and going squish.
I'm going to go ahead and go back to engineering, but I'm going to pass the word around that you are willing to take on crew that will be able to work for passage, and that we will be going to Ayla.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds good.
I know that you were also looking to go off-world.
Yes.
You told me that.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to provision up before you leave, and I can help you with that in the city. Spindle.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. I absolutely appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you. And she kind of looks at the rest of you, so thank you all.
Not a problem.
No worries.
I've got to get back to it.
Okay.
She kind of nods to you all and starts walking off.
Aom hastily runs over to Val. I think that went really well.
You think so?
Yes.
I mean, all of the it makes me so nervous. I'm just.
You are a babbling mess. You must really like her.
It's. Oh boy, we have so much history, and yet we haven't seen each other.
Really like her.
I love her.
That's
Theoretically,
dangerous.
I can make 8 zombies a day.
You can make 8 zombies a day?
Yes.
Are you still trying to summon a crew?
No, I was just thinking.
We need to kill 8 people today.
Oh, no. I just need to find
We're
bodies.
killing people?
If you have bodies, I can make 8 zombies a day.
You don't
I
usually
can get
That's
bodies.
workable.
Or bones.
We can work with
I
that.
could use with bones. In fact, if you just got me a big bag of bones, I could carry it around and make zombies whenever I need to. Well, I guess those would be skeletons, technically.
That'd be really
Can
heavy.
you make skeletons?
I have
Mechanically?
animate dead, so if I have
Oh, never mind, yeah.
Yeah, as long as
No.
as long as
if
she
I
has
have
bones.
I need a bag of bones so I can have the bag man. I can summon a bag man.
Bad idea.
All right, so you all are standing out on the deck. There is a very strong wind because of the speed of the ship, as well as
we're
as
gonna
general crosswinds. Huh?
Yep. Val
Oh
goes
no, we're
back
gonna
inside.
die.
We're gonna die.
Drake is still literally hanging on to the rigging. It's like just literally like puts his head out a little bit to the side just so that the freaking full breeze. I'm like, it has been too long since I felt this. I feel alive.
I feel alive every day.
I'd be
Yeah.
concerned if you felt dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually not a good place to be.
I'd have
No,
to-
that's
just
me
get
whenever I have
inside.
to deal with that's just me whenever I have to deal with political bullshit.
Usually when you die on the inside, you die on the outside too, though.
or when you ram your a speeding ship into a tree.
I took help
Eyebrow
take a
raised.
demon with me, and I
That's
survived.
Honestly, like, kind of worth it.
I mean, it was super cool, but you also kind of almost died.
I almost died, but we took out 2 and caused the entire enemy force to go into disarray.
I'm not disputing the effect. I'm just pointing out that there could have been worse consequences to that scenario. That's all.
I'm on that side. I'm still a little upset.
Look, with my story and how it seems to be written out across the stars so far, it's only ending in bloodshed, either someone else's or my own.
I would
Well, if it
very
ends
much
up as
like it
yours,
to-
I know what bones are going in my bag.
There you go. That's
Fair enough.
That's a mighty fine consequence if I ever saw one.
You can
Deal.
be Timmy
Yes.
forever.
It's probably all of them.
Forever.
Ever and ever and ever.
She's definitely taking your skull.
Well, yeah, a skeleton without a skull would be weird.
It's the headless skeleton. Without
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how we would recognize him. 'Cause, you know, he's just bones
Ah.
at that point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, we could carve silly words into the skull too. That'd be
Yes.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
He died how he lived.
Ridiculous.
Idiotically.
Draw a mustache.
Oh, mustache! Can I
Oh,
draw the
no.
mustache? I want to draw
don't
the
give me one
mustache.
of those.
We could
Don't
glue
give
it.
me
We
one
could
of those.
use his meat for glue and then glue a mustache on.
And we
You
and
could
we
make the
it one of those
mustache out of his hair.
crazy,
Yes,
crazy mustaches that do the loop, the swirly thing, and the
Yes,
So
like
now
those
I have a
family
plan
people.
to recycle Drake.
It's very important to
Isn't that the most
recycle,
important
okay?
Yes.
plan?
Druids
All I'm
always
gonna say is
recycle
this.
everything.
All I'm gonna say is this: if the gods wanted me to have a mustache, they would enable me to grow facial hair in the first place.
Nope, that's what adhesives are for.
That's what adhesives are for.
Adhesives are really good about
That's
that.
why
The
we make you
conversation keeps
into
coming
glue.
back to glue over and
I can
over
do
and
this.
over again.
Apparently,
I think we have a theme for the evening. Oh,
The
hi,
ties
Drake.
that
Bang.
bind. The glues that bind.
Yes.
Glues that bind.
Wait, do we have like the super glue, like the magic super glue?
No. No. The universal
Oh.
adhesive? No.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
You do understand that never comes undone.
Unless you have the
quest.
universal solve,
Yes.
the
A wish
could-
spell cannot
solvent.
even undo it.
No, but
I-
if you have the solvent, there's the solvent.
Universal
Yes, the
solvent,
solvent can take it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is exactly why you wait for someone to go on a monologue and then shove it down
And
the
now we
shove
have
the
a-
clue down their throat.
Oh no, sorry, the same one. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So.
I could use my performance of creation to create a mustache on his face.
You
It
keep
doesn't say
one
I
of
can't.
those.
Wait,
You
could
keep
you-
one of those ugly caterpillars off of my mug.
I can make
I
ink
work-
It
caps.
wouldn't be ugly.
They produce ink.
It'd
We
be
can use ink.
magnificent.
Perfect.
And it would only last 4 hours.
So the.
Oh, the ink would last until you wash
What was
it
her
off.
name? Oh my god, I can't remember the name of the woman in the tops with you. Oh
Wait,
god,
what?
I forgot. Cheryl, I think.
Oh God, I did not note that.
Oh. Thank you very much for following DM Bloodwolf.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Best cup.
Oh, right on.
Elminster's glue. Glue made out of Elminster? Because that's the way the conversation's going right
There
now.
is a cow on the front. Sorry. Of Elmer's glue.
Cow?
There's a
Oh, there.
cow on the
Oh,
front of
okay.
Elmer's
We're-
glue.
Yes, there
There
is.
is.
There 100% is. Their mascot is a cow.
Oh my god.
Oh
God,
no.
that's so morbid.
Bessie.
Wow, I've never realized that
realized that
before.
Oh my god.
We gave this to children, and we're like, "Here you go."
Yep,
Why
we
is there
sure
a cow on the
did.
front? Don't ask questions.
Don't ask.
No, sound alert worked over here. I heard it. No, oh god, no. It went off.
It went off. Phrasing.
Phrasing.
Eh.
My life is a lie. Oh my
I
god.
gotta
Till
up.
the very
I've gotta
end.
increase the counter again
Why?
because I'm keeping a counter.
Oh,
Keeping
did
a
you want me to
phrasing
set you up a counter?
No,
Sam's
no, I
keeping a
literally
phrasing
have a
counter.
counter going in the Kingdoms of Mist Discord for the shows. I literally have one up there currently. I'm keeping track of it tonight, just out of curiosity.
Oh my god.
we
Oh,
go.
hi. So, and there it is. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the chaos that you came here for. We hope you're enjoying yourselves. You guys were going to what type of preparations were you? Because you only had two, actually basically a day to get to before you get to the Spindle. So were you going to make any type of plans when you got there? Jagerhorn said the only thing that they really needed you to do is to sit down for a debriefing with their military leaders and some of his security people. So you could talk to them about what you saw, what was going on, and give them the best understanding of what's happening in Ayla. So what are you guys thinking of?
Well, unfortunately, Callie and myself can't really help out with that, as we weren't exactly there. Which will also leave us some extra time while all of that talk is going on for looking
Please
into
stay
gathering supplies, recruiting efforts.
Yeah, we could go on an adventure in the city.
Oh no.
Yeah, that
trouble.
I
That was
wouldn't
actually
so
just
much-
me.
I wouldn't exactly call it an adventure. More of a that wait till everyone gets back.
Oh boy.
Business first, then pleasure.
But if they're busy, what are we supposed to do? We should just explore. We could find all the good places to take everybody when they're done.
You make a tempting offer.
I know I'm very good at it.
So what would be Utopia, Val, and Aom in the talks, correct?
Yeah.
Split the party, split the party, split the party, split the
Which
party.
would once
It always
again
goes
leave
so well.
yourself, myself, and Lex if they still wish to accompany us.
I just want to bring
Yeah.
something up. Every time we have like a meeting of the minds with all the leaders of the world, things blow up and like people die.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
in
you,
all
and
honesty,
you
we
make a
only had
valid
one
point.
meeting with world leaders.
I mean, but if
and
it
in that
happens that
time,
only
the
that
party was
once,
split that time.
I mean, you're not wrong,
Yeah.
then. That is every time. If
Fine.
there was only one time.
Well, and we met the mage lady, and she was important, and then the whole fucking city exploded.
oh,
You know, you
yeah,
make
no,
a
no,
fella
you're right.
There
You're
was-
right,
Just
you're
there
right.
was
couple of
that.
fingers.
There was that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I-
make a. Sorry, a city blew
Wait.
up?
yeah. Well,
What?
kind of. The tower blew up,
The
and
tower
then
blew
the
up,
city
and
fell
then,
apart, sort of like.
Then we got shunted 4 months into the future.
What about a
have you
city blowing
people
up?
been doing?
I don't know. They kidnapped Drake and I,
remember.
and they took us to a meeting, and then we fought a bunch of like scary guys. When we
did
went
not
with the
kidnap
guy
you.
guy
didn't
person.
We
And then
had
we
our own
tracked-
reasons for
We
going.
tracked a person who had no skin. He was leaving greasy footprints. And then
Yeah.
we followed them into a tannery, and
that's
and then
true.
something happened, and then we did a meeting thingy, and then
saved
we were on
Camille
a
at the
ship.
tannery.
I still don't know what's
Yes.
happening.
That was pretty succinct. I mean, there are a couple of gaps there, but a pretty succinct synopsis from your perspective of what's happened. Yeah,
Well, yeah, you were obviously there for the Avatry stuff.
yeah.
I remember when Sugash got eaten by a boule.
Right, that did happen.
I met
didn't it?
him
Yeah,
briefly. Kind of
Yeah.
walked out when we walked in.
yeah,
Yeah, the ship's passing in
Eaten?
the
yeah. He like,
swallowed whole.
oh yeah.
What?
Sweet tea special.
You know, normally when that happens, it's consensual. I'm guessing this time it was not.
It was definitely not.
Wait.
Who would consent to
Who
that?
consent?
consents
Actually
to get
eat
eaten
it.
by a boule?
I'm sure it's a kink somewhere.
Bore.
It's like
No,
saying,
no, not-
I'm going to
definitely
consent
not.
to this great white biting me in half. It's
Don't
my kink.
Some
Don't judge
people-
me.
Not
Some-
shame.
Some people
mean-
just want to go out in a spectacular fashion. All I'm saying.
I
Yeah.
feel
Honestly,
like
the
if
way
it
we
was
almost went out
like
is
a
way
bug,
better.
I am a
I
masochist.
could see people consenting to like a bug bite.
A bug
but, like-
bite.
Well, yeah, 'cause-
I guess
Bugs.
it depends on the bug.
yeah. Maybe they give you superpowers, like that one story I read about the spider guy.
Oh yeah. What's his name?
Huh.
Spider Bob.
Spider
I think
Bob.
that was it.
Spider guy.
Spider guy.
Spider guy.
Spider guy,
Spider guy,
dude,
spider dude.
Or,
Arachnid
or,
dude.
or man
Get
spider.
Arachnaman.
Mantis man. Mantis man.
Mantis man. Oh my
Mantis
gosh.
man.
Mantis aren't arachnid though.
He's
So-
very religious. Don't
The
even-
ship is moving along at a good pace. You know, like I said, they left it at dusk, so it is. You can see the treetops just barely below you, moving by. Thank you very much for the cheers and the biddies.
Yay!
But you can see the treetops just barely by. You can even hear sometimes a tree, like a tip top of a tree, hitting the hull of the ship. So the ship is going so low. You can see in the distance with the because it's a pretty clear night. You can see in the distance the horizon is broken by the mountain chains as you see yourself moving direct in that direction. Are you guys going to continue to sit on the deck and just chat, or are you going to try and get some rest?
Aren't
I
we
was gonna
supposed
try
to
and get
have
some
dinner
rest.
with Jaegerhorn?
Oh, that's right.
Oh yes, they
Oh.
wanted us to have dinner.
Was that? Yeah, no, that was tonight because I forgot. You're only going to be on the ship until like noon or later tomorrow.
That's
So eventually, as the evening presses on, one of Jaegerhorn's personal attendants comes out. Lex, you recognize him. He's just one of his functionaries, and he says, "If you all would come with me, Lord Jaegerhorn would appreciate your company for a bit."
Oh, is it time for dinner now?
As best we can make a meal, yes.
Any meal is great right now. I'm starving.
Food.
I've been working the rigging all this time. Food sounds great. Then I suggest the majority of us get some rest.
Just get your ass down here, Drake. We're going to eat.
He literally just flips and literally drops. Ah, there we are.
You drop
Impressive.
in.
It's like you forget. I practically grew up on things like this. This is
Oh, absolutely.
more comfortable than the ground at times.
That's fair. And I didn't forget because you literally won't shut up about it.
Have you tried under the ground though?
Yeah,
Not
that's
yet?
super comfy.
Wait,
That seems interesting.
under the ground always has ceilings, and no one ever looks up.
Oh no, you usually want to look up because a lot of stuff drips from the ceilings. Creatures, liquids, sometimes solids.
Dang it! So they will be looking at the ceiling. That'll make it harder to sneak up on people.
Oh yeah, things fall off the ceiling all the time.
Not if you're invisible.
Sometimes rocks, like whole rocks, will fall.
Drake, why are you dripping on people from the ceiling?
Rocks
That
fall,
is a
everyone
good
dies.
question.
Phrasing.
That
Alright,
was on
so
purpose.
you guys are
That's a good question,
making your
Ayo. That's
way through
I
the
thought so.
sky, to the ship, I mean, and headed to following this functionary while you're having this interesting conversation. You finally get to the rooms that Jaegerhorn's been given. The servant opens the door and steps aside and allows you all to go in. It's a stateroom, so it's much larger than even the room you are sharing. There is a table set up and with chairs around it and you see the table is like anchored to the floor. The chairs are all anchored to the floor, and there's enough seating for like 8 people around the table. As you all take seats, Jaegerhorn it comes out of the side room, and they're still in like that work garb they were in earlier when they were in the city, but they look like they've done the rudimentary washing of hands and face to get some of the grimy off. And they come into the room and it says, thank you so much for putting up with this small inconvenience with your time. I appreciate it.
No inconvenience here.
He's like,
I would say Lex when she heard the invitation, it didn't sound like she was actually included in it because he was like, "Oh, I want to talk to you guys," meaning like she understood it as them. So she probably tried to slip off to like the cabin that she shares with like the other bodyguards.
mm-hmm.
So she's not there.
Can we notice that?
Lex, are you intending on doing something else with this time, or
She just assumes that
no, got
she's
it.
not supposed to be
So-
at this dinner. So she's like, "Oh, okay."
As you
Yeah, I'm just
as you
gonna-
go below decks and you get to the level where all Jaegerhorn's people are staying, you go to slip off, and the attendant kind of like sees you like moving towards the quarters for the security, and he says, "Oh no, Jaegerhorn wanted you to be in attendance. He has some things he wanted to discuss with you as well."
Yeah,
Oh.
no spying, Lex.
But wasn't she spying for them?
I thought she
mean,
was.
The
Is it-
attendant's like, "No, there was no spying."
That's what you say. You work for him.
Also,
spy
wouldn't
too.
it be not spying if I was going with the other bodyguards?
You know your job better than me.
I really don't, because I'm not a spy.
We don't know who you're
Hey,
supposed to be spying on.
Hey, as someone who's done spy work before, they're not a spy.
They're not a
That's
spy.
what they want you to think.
No.
Wouldn't that make them an even better spy?
Exactly.
Especially if you, with your trained eyes, thought they were a spy. Thought they were
Are
a
Are
spy.
you literally
That
having
makes them
this
the best
conversation
spy.
as you're walking into
Yes.
Jaegerhorn's dinner?
100%.
Okay.
And Jaegerhorn kind of looks at you, Lex, and says, "You are the worst spy ever."
See?
It's a cover.
Jaegerhorn
cover.
kind of chuckles and he
If they
says,
say that they're a bad spy, then
Reverse
believe them.
psychology.
yeah.
"Yes, I
That's-
am obviously a master of psychology."
Yes.
Smart enough to
Val
be a
just
spy.
laughs.
Oh.
Just- giggles incessantly.
Yeah,
Drake is just like
literally.
literally just pinching the bridge of his nose, like, "Oh my god!"
Today is
looks
the
at
I
all
best.
of you
think
and he
you're
says,
a very good spy. I
I'm
would have
glad
never known.
It does.
"There."
I always had an inkling.
You're smarter than me then.
Giggorn does chuckle and he says, I appreciate it. A little bit of levity is wonderful right now.
Yes, otherwise we'd all be screaming and crying.
Yes, and I think, what was that?
Nothing.
Okay.
With the sip, it's so suspicious.
That was clutch.
Nothing.
Giggorn says, I just wanted to ask you some things because from what I understood, you told me about the time skip. And you told me that you were at the university before everything happened.
Yes.
And from what we've been able to reason from the dates you were giving us, you were there the evening that the catastrophe happened.
That's pretty much what we are aware of as well. I mean, we didn't see the catastrophe, but that's what we've been told.
When you were there, was there anything odd or untoward or that made you suspicious that something might be off?
Was that the evening that we got attacked by those things on the roof, or was that a different day?
That was that evening.
We had gotten attacked by some weird shit on the roof of the university, but
What was it?
I'm trying to remember what it was.
It's so weird we don't remember.
So
I knew it was
weird, we can't
flying.
recall it at all.
Like a flying demon devil thing, I think.
Yeah.
Imp, maybe? Was it an imp? I know that it threw you off of the roof, Elm. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I do.
I would assume that you'd
Was
remember
it a
that.
bone thingy? This was a long time ago.
Remember, if you want me to remind you guys what it was?
Yes, please.
There was several gargoyles and then a giant
Gargoyle.
multi-armed gargoyle.
That was it.
Yeah.
I love gargoyles. This is great.
We were attacked by gargoyles. It was a bunch of gargoyles, and there was one crazy looking gargoyle with like a bunch of arms. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Really, like
Threw
a
Aelm
statue?
off the roof.
So
Yeah.
you were
But alive.
attacked by a bunch of creatures that are known to be servants of magic users
Yes.
Yes.
at a
At a
basic
university
university full
magic
of magic users.
Correct.
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
That's a beginning.
There
to
is
connect.
some issues that we have been uncovering that lead us to think that there are some groups amongst all the rest of us who are actually aligned with whatever these forces are.
You mean like the guy that tried to frame me? That first time we met? Like that
That
guy?
wasn't a guy.
Oh, the
No.
greasy guy with no skin.
Yes.
The monster that forcibly steals the memories and skins of others and then imitates
Oh, right, I
them.
did that too. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yet that was why we were hunting him, not because he just didn't have skin.
Yeah.
I forgot. I got into the tracking mode and I was tracking.
We've got them, those assassins
you were
from
a
what you're
bird.
saying, rogue mages.
Yeah, you did.
I dropped you. I didn't mean to. I thought I could catch you quicker.
Yeah. It's fine.
It all worked out.
From what my councils have been able to deduce from all the different stories we've heard, is that beyond the realms of the Mist Mother, there is a much more expansive world. Perhaps dwarfing everything we know and understand. But beyond that, there are also other, how to explain, realities.
Oh yes,
Other
I've read about this, the multiverse theory.
planar theory. There's multiple
Potato.
planes of existence, and they are incredibly varied.
Yeah.
I know that there are some powerful casters who can tap into these energies, using them for elemental forces, for forces of necromancy. That can be used right into. Oh God!
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
We held off very long time.
But what I'm trying to say is that there is definitely everyone has been seeing this right now as an invasion.
Right.
I am worried that this is more of an outright rebellion against the Miss Mother's authority. And
Do you entirely blame them?
What if it were something else? What if it were other? If these with these outer worlds or what have you? What if it's a rescue mission?
how do you
Yes,
mean?
demons coming in and slaughtering everything is a rescue mission.
If
Sounds
the-
I feel perfectly safe and rescued.
It's a theory, okay, Drake. Let keep the.
He's in a flow of consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we were taken by or if our ancestors were taken by the Mist Mother from these other worlds, wouldn't these other worlds have some inkling that this had happened? Wouldn't they want to get their people back?
That has been one of the biggest questions that I've had that we've been trying to get answers to. And the biggest issue that we have getting answers to that is the only person who can answer that is the Mist Mother herself.
And
What if we're prisoners and we're put on an isolation plane
An isolation
and nobody
plane?
cared? Yeah, like they took us all out because we were dangerous. So they took us out and they put us here and they gave her to the Miss Mother. She's our warden and she's going to make sure that we stay here and that nobody hurts. None of us get out and do things. I don't know what we
Naomi's gonna
do.
put a hand
That's-
over Callie's mouth.
Mm.
So you
That's
so
heresy.
you think that the other thing
That's
is like a
frightening.
giant jailbreak?
I'm gonna ask everybody to stop speaking heresy. Thanks.
Well,
Stop
here's
speaking
one thing we have
heresy.
yet. So here's why I
We're just
personally
like-
don't think it's that. If that were such the case, I don't think they would be as subtle as they're trying to be about it. They'd be much more blatant, almost grandiose, bragging that they're here to rescue us from their influence.
pomp,
A lot of these
circumstance,
forces
and
are
fair.
working in the shadows and straight up using human sacrifices to power their rituals to open their portals. Something tells me the good
Oh,
guys
yeah.
wouldn't do that.
I mean, I never said that they were good. But I mean, again, it was just a theory. It was a thought that had been on my mind, and Your Honor,
What?
your talk pretty much re-triggered the thought, and I don't know. We're sharing ideas.
Yes, and I think that the best thing we can say about the situation is that there may be an extreme external source that is the focus of everything now. But the thing I wanted to talk to you about is that there is, I think we can be very confident that there are factions here in our own home that want to see the Miss Mother's power over this realm broken.
What if it's not so much broken, but under new management?
I mean, the Miss Mother's already kind of been split.
Exactly, which makes this into a power vacuum. There's no one fully there pulling the strings. It's too fragmented. No one person is helping to protect or call the shots. So now things from the other side see an opportunity to expand their own domains by taking over this one.
What would they want with our domain? What would be the point of it? What resources
Why
do we
does-
have that they don't?
Souls.
Why does any gang expand their territory?
More territory.
Power.
Territory,
Give me more
power,
land for farming.
provisions.
Not for farming. I don't think. Anyway, unless there are
Farming,
farming
no.
gangs. Unless there are
We don't
farming
know
gangs
what-
out there.
Jagerhorn says, I know that there are certain aspects of peoples that live here. There is a type of elf, and I know that there's not a lot of interactions with elves except for here, but there's a type of elf, an Eladrin, that is very much that has access to magics that other elves don't, and there is some kind of external force that gives them access to these magics, but we don't know what it is.
Right.
Hmm.
And there are people who are born who have elemental blood. There's the Genasi's, and they are fire Genasi's, water Genasi's, air Genasi's, earth Genasi, but we don't know why they have access to these elemental powers. We know that it's not naturally occurring because they're born to just people.
Val's possessed by a shadow demon.
It's not a demon. It's me.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought he was
Val's
just possessed by
himself.
himself.
That's yourself?
It's
can
not a
do it.
possession. It's me sharing a soul with an aspect of myself that I created in a moment of trauma.
I think that's
That's too
the
complicated for me.
with the sensitive identity disorders.
I
Yes
don't
and no.
think that's it.
It's complicated.
Yeah, usually when you go through something very dramatic, some people will like split their personalities. Although it's not like
It doesn't
super
usually.
common,
It
but
usually
it
doesn't
happens.
manifest in separate powers being created. As a
No,
result.
usually it's just voices. Some are inside voices and some are outside voices,
And a-
and sometimes
and a
they
completely
switch.
oh my
separate
god.
soul being.
Val's arachnid man, but he's shadow man. He was bitten by a
Okay.
radioactive separate
Shadow.
personality.
I don't think that's a thing, Aeon, but
But you
Thank
did
you.
it.
Wait, what's
But what about the
radioactive?
other one? Because there was
Hmm?
another one.
Oh yeah.
that's my quarry. I have a quarry. I'm a Kalishtar. So it's
He's
basically.
possessed by a quarry.
I'm not possessed
Wait,
by it. It's,
Val's
it's
Possessed by a
bunch of rock.
quarry and bitten by a shadow.
He's a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
no.
That is a
thought it-
quarry.
That's a quarry.
Val. Lex is not smart.
I
I
need
mean, I just
something
thought
to
it meant
drink.
he was calling himself somebody's prey, but
Yeah.
I was told I was wrong too. It's okay. Lots of different meanings for the same word.
It's a separate soul from a place called the Dreaming, and we don't really have a huge explanation for what that is or understanding of why that is. But a quarry, like we're all as Kalishtar, we're all born with second soul inside of us,
And you were greedy,
You
so you
know-
needed another one.
It wasn't greed.
He
It
made
was self-preservation.
another one.
Wait, hold on a second.
I feel like this is very
Bunch of
disrespectful to
a
talk
bunch
over
of
dinner.
many different races and peoples, all with extraordinary abilities.
Sure.
In a
Beyond
realm
regular
very much
extraordinary.
protected from the outside realms.
Yeah.
What if this place wasn't made so much as a prison, but a sanctuary?
Aom's just gonna hold up the scrolls of like the Miss Mother's teachings and just like throw them on the table. Did any of you ever go to church?
No, we
No.
didn't have one.
What, so I
was
could
raised
listen
in a
to
one.
Uh,
fanatics who use the word as they wish? Fuck no.
Jagerhorn,
My parents are wizard. They're not
Jagerhorn
believers.
holds up a hand and says, I'm sorry.
I literally lived under a rock.
Aeom,
Yeah.
please, if you have anything that could help, then yes, I would love to hear it.
But
Yeah.
Miss Mother exists to protect us all. And actually, I'm gonna turn around. Where is the deepest shadow in this room?
Actually, because this is mainly done by candlelight, and there's lots of deep shadows.
Everywhere.
I
And
can help
Aeom's
with
just
shadows
going
if you'd
to-
like.
Throw out their arms at the shadow and just waiting.
Just waiting.
Like an absolute idiot. Absolutely.
Absolute idiot.
Do you want me to walk into or out of the shadow?
No, it's not for you. It's.
Oh,
I promise she's coming. Maybe.
okay.
Phrasing.
I don't know how
Phrasing.
this works.
I don't know how this works. So, there is a few moments where you are not sure if there's a response. And then, just as you're like kind of looking around sheepishly and doing the whole, trying to think of an explanation, you basically feel a presence entering the room. And you see a shadowy figure, humanoid, in long robes, coming out of the shadow. Normally, she is incredibly tall, but this time she is just like all the rest of you.
She does that way better than I did.
And Jaegerhorn kind of looks, and again she is in dark robes, and again she has the sword on her hip. And Jaegerhorn kind of looks at her, and she lifts up her head to where light actually shines on her face. And you see that it is the Mist Mother's face. All the statues look the same. But instead of having the beatific vision on her face that she normally does, the look of, love and caring and understanding, her eyes are red rimmed. She has a look of sorrow on her face. Her cheeks are streaked with tears. And she kind of stops and she says, "Normally I would not wish to be represented with such theatrics.
Sorry.
It's alright, I understand. What you," and she looks at Jaegerhorn, and you, she looks at Val, and you, she looks at Drake, are proposing, I think I can state, are all somewhat accurate.
Huh.
This was made to be a refuge, a place of healing, and a place where those that the Mist Mother brought here would feel safe. But she did this when she was very young, and she did not fully understand what it meant to be who you are as individuals. And she, in her loneliness, brought together other outcasts, other members of societies who did not fit. And she brought them here to protect them, because even as she was looking for them, she discovered dangers even to herself. When she brought them here, and she made these worlds for them to live on, and all this creation, she didn't do so in a way that would allow for the interference of the rest of existence. The Mist Mother is, I am a living thing. The aether that you float in, the air that you breathe, the space that the worlds move through, all of that is my body. I can control it, and I can make it more hospitable to everyone. But there are limits even for a creature like me. So this area, that's why. And she looks at Aeom. When she lashed out at your world and she threw it out into the depths, it became cold. Because my power only extends so far. And they are drifting farther than I chose them to. When the attack happened, what you see here, was created. The Mist Mother was broken, physically and mentally. There are other aspects of her. There is still the aspect of hope, but she is devoted completely to keeping the mechanics of these worlds in alignment so that further catastrophe doesn't happen. But there is more than just myself and the Mist Mother. I've told Aeom there is another aspect on his world. The aspect of the Mist Mother's rage. There is one more aspect. That is the aspect of the Mist Mother's feet. But I don't have the power to find it. But I think if we can bring the other aspects together, we may be able, through our combined abilities, to find the fourth. I don't know if this is going to be a reconciliation or if we are to remain apart forever. But I do know that if we can work in conjunction, we can put everything to right and reestablish the boundaries the Mist Mother originally set out, or create a new way. The only thing I know for sure is right now I'm the only one who is actively working towards this end. As I said, the aspects of hope are spending all their energy to maintain the worlds she created and keep them in the balance she made to make sure that you would all be safe. That's the only thing she has energy to do.
Like a plant.
Just look at Jaegerhorn and all of what she just said.
Jaegerhorn kind of says, that answers what happened to the Mist Mother. But where are all these other things coming from? And the Mist Mother, the Night Mother kind of stops and she says, when she made this safe place, there were certain things that had to still be available. Creatures that she brought here draw their life force from other planes of existence. You mentioned the Eladrin. They are linked to a space called the Feywild. It is another point of existence. In order for them to be able to survive here, some energies from the Feywild had to be able to come into this dimension to be able to enable them to survive. There are other creatures here who required energy from the Abyss, Nine Hells,
The Dreaming.
Shadow Plane, the Dreaming. And so there are minor holes, places where those energies can come through. And when the Mist Mother was whole, there was no slip in the bulwark of defense. When the dwarves attempted to wrest control from her in order to escape, as they thought, that was the first injury. But what happened when you all were in the tower? That was the first attack. It was a concise effort between people here and almost all the other planes of existence who wanted access. Access to the people, access to the power, access to this abundance. And that is what inevitably led them to attack. The fact that she was already injured and weakened.
They were looking for a window of opportunity to strike, and the moment they saw it, they took it. Hit hard, hit fast. It made more cracks in the defenses they could slip additional forces through. We're dealing with a dam, and a cracked one at that. If we don't get it patched soon, more and more will flood until it's impossible to stop. The dam breaks, and an actual catastrophe. Multiple worldwide catastrophe. And if the Mist Mother dies during all of that, then that also means that everything that they're keeping alive dies with it.
That is the truth.
So we just need to get rage, hope, sorrow, and fear to work together.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No.
Well, if
Have
they're
you
all part
seen-
of the same whole, they should want to return to each other. I mean, look at Val. He's 3 parts of a whole.
But he's not a whole.
So he's still missing a piece too. We're going to have to find it.
Not.
I don't think that that's quite true.
I would agree with that.
It was a metaphor?
I am a whole person. I just happen to also
Yeah.
contain multitudes.
Aom's gonna look at Val. You resonated with the Night Mother when she said what she said about the split. So it's similar.
Similar, yes, but there's also where in my particular case, again, trauma.
Yeah.
But also coming to terms with that split and with the piece of myself that I recreated, if that makes sense, and come to terms with the fact that it is in fact also me. So it's, while not whole in the sense that it was like one particular puzzle or puzzle united, whole in the sense that we are united, we accept each other as being the same.
Like a family.
I mean,
Just
maybe
like
that's
we need
what
these
they
portions to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what'd you say, Lex?
Lex said maybe that's what they need to
We're
You
coming
know-
to terms.
coming to terms.
Sit down and have dinner.
Kinda.
I feel like fear is going to be our real issue.
Do I get that one?
Have you?
What do you mean, get that one?
I don't.
The Night Mother isn't like my personal god.
No. I
Okay.
just meant like we're
Everyone
we're picking somebody that we're gonna like try to convince.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
then would that make me rage?
Do you feel angry and hatred?
Or
Aeon's
are you
just
the
staring at Lex
opposite?
like,
Are
Yeah,
you
Lex is like-
the opposite? You need
hot.
to like see and realize, and you are gonna help her balance.
Let's find out what exact. I'm sure there is a lot more depth to each of them than just that. I mean, just look at the Night Mother herself.
It's fair.
Initially, just looking and hearing about it, you may think one thing until you hear more about it.
Aeon's smiling at Drake.
Not a fucking word.
You
There's
could be a great
nothing-
orator.
The Night Mother kind of just crosses her arms over her chest and says, I think that the key to any of this is understanding that the Mist Mother is aware of her situation. I am aware of the situation as it sits as well. But we have had no contact with the other two. The only reason I know where rage is because of what they are. And we can feel them like a wound.
Hmm.
They are the reason that your world is still slipping, even though the Mist Mother tries to hold on to it. They are still trying to. They're still trying to met out the Mist Mother's wrath, even though it was only a moment.
Then what say we give them a juicier target and buy ourselves some more time?
That's not the way it works.
I don't know if it's the way it works or not, but I do know that I don't think you want them to put their targets on anyone.
No.
Lex,
No.
Not even the ones trying to invade and cause even more destruction in this realm?
Lex, do you know how it works?
If it's rage and she's living in that moment, you have to get her out of that moment. When I go into a rage, it's in that moment. And I come out of it when I come out of that moment.
So
I don't
Kyrell-
know if it's exactly the same, but could be worth a shot.
So Kyrell is reminding her of that rage.
And she
That
has
was her
shown
point.
no willingness to leave.
She is basking in.
She is deep in the earth.
It's easier to stay in the moment than leave. To stay in the anger and pain.
I do know that if you can convince her to relent, then much of the energies the Mist Mother has been directing to try and slow Tyrell's drift would no longer be needed. And maybe if she is willing to allow it, Tyrell could be restored.
Looks like we got our first target.
I'm gonna walk over to Lex. I'm gonna put like a gentle hand on her shoulder. I'm gonna say, on some level, I can relate to that. And it takes a lot to take yourself out of that. That you were able to do that regularly takes more strength than I knew was possible. So I appreciate that. I don't know that I could do that over and over again.
And you're not wrong about how easy it is just to stay within that hate.
It is very easy.
The Miss Mother turns and looks at you, Drake, and just raises an eyebrow.
Literally. Called out. Called out.
Drake,
Callie
you
and
might
Aom
want
are
to take a
just-
look in a mirror.
Callie and
Hey,
Aom
Pot,
are just
did you
standing up
hear
for
what
one
the
side.
kettle said?
But the Miss Mother doesn't say anything. She, to you, Drake. But she says, all that we can do is try and convince them. But in order to do that, you're going to have to get past what is keeping them in that state. And I do not think that whatever's keeping them in that state.
Neither are the demons we killed, neither is that skin stealer.
Unnatural's our specialty at this point.
Killing
Kinda.
unnatural is our specialty.
This is almost like I picked people for a reason.
Wow,
Make
pat yourself on the
noise.
back much.
Wow. You speak to your deity with that mouth?
You just see her hand come up and pop. But for the first time, you see her smile.
Success.
It survived being smacked by a god.
Yeah,
Get
you
on my
did.
level,
That's
Drake.
good. That's good.
No, this god.
Well,
Are
any
you
god.
implying she's lesser than other gods?
And Miss Mother actually finally looks directly at you, Drake, raises both her eyes on wide. She says, "Are you implying that I couldn't smack you dead?
No,
Because I can also bring you
I'm
back,
just
so
saying
you
if-
can make a point."
I'm just saying it might not be a good idea for Aom to make this a constant thing,
He won't.
because some of your other halves might not be so.
Every one of you is getting over trauma of some kind.
Boy, oh boy.
Naomi's trauma has been very recent, very harsh. And I will not seek to trivialize it or deny it like a parent who does not want to acknowledge when they've done wrong.
Val's eyes widen a little bit at that remark. Yeah.
Thank you, Night Mother.
Because even through all that, you kept your faith. Even when you had no reason to.
What is faith?
Hope, persevering.
Hope. There it is again.
Belief that everything will be okay. I have faith that everything will be okay.
And the Miss Mother says, and I have faith that I can at least guide you to help that happen.
And I have faith in you.
And she says, and she kind of looks over at Jägerhorn, and she says, and you need to have faith that I have chosen well. And provide them with every opportunity. And Jägerhorn kind of is leaning on their hands, like have their hands deep in front of them and resting their chin on their hands, and they sit back and they say, I don't think that there's any doubt or whether or not I would trust them. But we have so much we have to accomplish, and time has grown desperately short for some people. But if you tell me that I need to make sure that they are free to continue your work, then that will be the truth. And the Night Mother kind of looks at all of them and says, I guarantee you that if you let these continue on the journey I have laid out before them, that there will be others who will step forward and provide you what you need to help your people. And Jaegerhorn sits back, picks up their cup and takes a long drink of the wine, puts the cup down. In that case, I think dinner may go a little long, because if you all are going to be taking the ship and leaving, you're going to have to devote all your time to outfitting the ship and getting a crew.
Not just the crew either. We need to make sure we ourselves are outfitted for whatever might come at us.
As best you can in the short time you'll have, Jaegerhorn says. We will provide you with what we can. I understand.
It is appreciated, Your Grace.
And the Mist Mother kind of like looks at all of you and says, I am required to be what I am now at this time, which is more than I think what I should be. If we can be restored, then I would be happy to be enfolded once back into the Mist Mother. But if not, then there will be more changes that you will have to prepare people for.
Sorry, we're all done. My bad. Sorry.
Be ready. As ready as you can be. And then she like puts her hand back on Aom's shoulder, and then she looks over at Drake and she says, some of you will be called even more.
Val looks at the Night Mother and then looks over at Drake. Like, what is she talking about?
And she says, I will leave you to discuss your plans.
Thank you for your time.
She kind of like just steps backwards 4 steps and just disappears into the shadow.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I know, right? I need to learn that trick myself.
Is that
Piety.
the shadow that bit you?
What?
The radioactive
Is that the shadow that bit you?
No,
No.
again, whatever power coalesced with him is literally trauma.
It's yeah.
But she said we all have trauma.
Yes,
The trauma bit Val very hard.
but some of us aren't going to develop our traumas in the same way. I'm pretty sure. Just kind of holds up the red leather bound book. This, for example,
You
the
made your
teachings
trauma
from
into a
this psychic blade.
You learned that from a book? I didn't know you could read.
How
I
many
can do a lot
pictures are-
more than read.
Well, you didn't go to church.
There was no church under the rocks.
Raised by literal wizards who did not believe.
Well,
We went
I
into
know you can
hiding
read,
when I was
Val.
like 20.
So, in the face of all this doubt, let's have a contest.
Contest!
We're going
And
to start
drink.
the giveaway. So, for the next 20 minutes, type the keyword into chat to get your raffle tickets. Remember, individuals who follow us get 1 raffle ticket each, and individuals who subscribe get 2. And always remember that this month's mini is this bad boy, the Avatar of Orcus, which is a demon lord on a large base. It is a 4K mini, and we'll be giving that away on the 30th, which is the Saturday morning Breakfast Club show, and we will be picking out the new mini as well. I'm going to actually put this one up in Discord this week, or should I say this weekend, and so we can start deciding which one we want to do. I'll put it up in the announcements channel, and we can vote on it there and see which one we want to do the giveaway with. 20 minutes. Go. Anyway, heavy breathing. All right, so you guys, Jägerhorn kind of looks at you all and he says, "That was not what I expected."
We do that a lot.
I'm going to be honest. If Aom didn't, I probably would have asked her to come here myself. And unlike Aom, I have a propensity for drama.
I can be theatrical if I want.
I've never been to a theater. Is that what it's like?
Depends on what you're
More or
going there
less.
for.
To be honest, I've
More
never
or
been
less.
one either.
Maybe
The
we
more
should find a theater when we get that. When we get to
The
this
next time near,
Well,
the next time we're near Ayla, I'm taking you to the Long Tooth. It is fantastic. It is where I lived. It was where my patron is. We put on a
that'll be
fantastic
the one that
show.
technically took your money.
Isn't a long tooth a fang?
Yes, it is. But it sounded cooler than just calling it the Fang.
No,
They
thanks.
call
Sounds
you
pretty
the-
cool.
I don't know. The thing sounds better.
Fangin'.
Well, it sounds less like a house of ill repute than a theater.
Now hold on a minute.
I think I'd go to a place called the Fang over the Long Tooth.
A theater called the Fang. A theater
Yeah.
called
Yes.
the Fang sounds like it's
Sounds
run
tough.
by gangsters.
Sounds hardcore.
I mean, of course, Lex would go to the one called The Fang.
That
Well,
seems a bit on the
considering I
nose.
don't know what happens at a theater, yeah, it kind of all tracks. I don't know which one I'd rather go to.
Look, all I'm saying is don't diss houses of ill repute, because oftentimes they're some of the best places to get information.
But
I've
Val was
never
just
been-
saying it's not of ill repute. It's apparently a very nice place.
It's a nice place.
It's a nice place.
It's a nice place.
Can we visit a place of ill repute and compare?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You can do what you want.
You're
I haven't
coming
been
Val
to-
is, I think Val's abstaining
Don't
because he
know.
already has someone in mind.
Val, you're designated driver.
What does
I
that
will
have
be
to
the
do? I
DD.
don't understand.
Designated carriager.
It's like, trust me, Kat,
Designated
that will be
Escort?
yet another thing I will have to teach both you and Utopia probably about. Val may not agree with me teaching the both of you about this, but you should know it.
I'm not a fan of this, but
Yeah, Val generally has like a pretty good moral compass.
I mean, ill repute
I
sounds
seldom get what I want.
bad. Because ill means sick.
It just
do you remember how I
Sick
once told you
reputation.
there were certain special bars that specialized in
Jägerhorn just puts up a hand.
interaction.
He's like, "Why don't you save that whole discussion for a little bit later?"
That's private time discussion.
Good
Okay.
idea. Actually, it is literally as well.
Jägerhorn says, "When we get to the Spindle, I still need to report something to my men.
I still plan on assisting with that.
What I'm hoping to do is, if I can bring in some scribes now and take your statements. You and I do believe you and Aom were the only ones here who were present then.
I mean, Utopia was also there, but she is, I think, indisposed.
Something about first being tossed around in her bunk because they did not put the straps up, and now her half over a bucket, emptying their stomach.
Oh, that
It
is
was
Tried to
like-
warn.
unfortunate,
was,
and I'm very
falling
sorry
off
that
a rock.
happened.
I was trying to be more polite.
Oh,
about
don't
it.
be sorry.
Yes.
No, I'm sure she loved it.
It was really fun.
And it was, yes.
That is
You jumped at the right time.
an interesting concept. But no matter what, I do not want anyone to be made uncomfortable just because of the ship. But I will send one of my clerics down to try and help out as soon as possible.
That is appreciated.
Knock
I
first.
want. Oh,
Knock
absolutely,
first, okay.
absolutely. I would
Okay.
never. I would insist upon courtesies. What I would like to know from you all is what exactly do you plan on doing to try and do what you can to repair this situation? I just want to know how that can even be done.
If I'm honest, I don't really know either. We've kind of been flying at the seat of our pants with
Yeah.
a lot of this.
Just sort of improvise in the moment. Very good at
Yeah.
improvising.
There, with the threats we face of this that are attacking this world, they benefit off of whatever plans are being made. It gives them something to dismantle, to work around, to utilize against. You have to be flexible. If that's why I suggested that we take the ship for our own, so we are no longer bound to another for transportation. It gives us additional flexibility to act. It makes us more of a mobile target. It makes us harder to hit, and also allows us to get from point A to point B to help solve the problem much faster.
Well, I can understand all those provisions. And as I said, I don't have a problem with you taking the ship. I mean, we were probably not going to be able to utilize it, and we're probably going to scuttle it just because of its reputation. They will be coming back for it. So you have other issues to worry about aside from just finding a crew once you leave the Spindle.
Lovely.
I'm not too worried.
That makes one of us.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
th-
know why we're worried, not worried, so I'm neutral.
They want
Because the
to
ship
like
belonged
this-
to a pirate captain, a pirate admiral here, who has a fleet of pirate ships. And who escaped.
Which means they won't
What
be
if we
pushed
painted a different color?
I don't think he'd care. Or he'd probably be pretty upset once he found you.
We'll worry about that bridge when we cross it, Callie.
improvise.
improvise.
Exactly.
All the best musicians do it.
I don't play any instruments.
I
don't
play.
know
I'll play all of
Aaron-
them. for you. Don't worry.
Aaron
about
looks
it.
at you all and he's
Well.
like, I am not going to pretend to question the Myth Mother's decisions, but I will say
Question this mother's decisions in my head.
I will say that at this point, I wish you had more reassurance for me.
That's heresy. And Aom's going to start walking out of the room.
Aeon, I don't think.
You'll still need it.
And Jaegerhorn says, I'm sorry.
If I honestly wish we could give 100% assurance. But truth of the matter is there's still much about the situation that we don't know. We're playing with a lot of unknowns. We have no concretes. What we do know doesn't look good.
And the situation does seem to be changing rather rapidly.
But It comes with one advantage.
Jahan looks
Look
at
at how
you.
the people. Look at how the people are reacting. There are some who are starting to lose hope, but others who are seeing people rise up and to act like heroes. Thank God no one's looking at me that way.
Says who?
It gives
Yeah, you
people
presume
hope.
much.
I
Hope.
heard what happened on the battlefield.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You two
Oh, you mean you being a hero?
sacrificed
That-
yourselves
Shut up.
to remove the enemy commander.
Just because you don't want to see it that way doesn't mean other people don't.
All
you don't
I'm
get
saying.
to choose who sees you as a hero, Drake. Just get to be one.
From what witnesses told me they saw, they didn't know how either one of you survived that.
It was a miracle, one might say.
Shut up.
Somebody's got to explain that.
Look, all I'm saying is,
I feel like there's
No
something.
one's-
with these actions,
No one's gonna explain that.
taking
No,
a legendary ship, it starts to spread a legend like a virus.
some viruses move very slow.
It begins to spread and spread, gaining hope. People see certain faces that stick out at the crowd, like Val's or Aoms, and start to
But you are-
realize that help is here from those who have accomplished the impossible. That's one of the ways we fight back. We give the people faces to their hopes.
You mean heroes?
I
That
hate
would
that
be-
word, but yes.
I mean, but that's literally what you're describing.
You better start believing in heroes, Drake. You are one.
We should start printing posters and just Drake's face
Business
all over
cards.
them.
We
No,
can
don't you-
hand out cards.
Look, there's
Just
only
hero
one reason my
services
face would
available.
ever be on a
Heroes
poster.
Incorporated?
Jagerhorn
We
says,
can
I
make
am- like,
so many
I
posters.
understand exactly what you're saying. When the miners revolted, we decided that I would be the face of the movement. Although so many others sacrificed so much. Because we had someone who represented everyone and who everyone could identify with. We inspired hope in the miners to help get them through the very, very tight times when they had no money and the union, then the owners were trying to starve them out. So I understand what you're saying. And I also understand your reluctance.
My reluctance is a little bit different.
I didn't say I understood it perfectly. I just said I understand the reluctance.
With Val, and with Utopia, they have been through the most of this and survived. They have endured horrors. They have seen much and came and survived it. If anyone is a face to this hope, it's those three.
You literally.
I do what I can from the
sacrificed
background to make
yourself.
sure that
That was not a background action. You literally sacrificed yourself to take out a commander demon.
That was,
That's
that
not
was
a
kind of front and
background
center.
act. That's very front line, Drake. It's very front line.
Literally the tip of
The
the spear.
frontis. The
Like-
frontis of the
Literally.
line.
Or the edge of an axe, as I understand it.
Yes.
Yes.
And he looks at Lex and he says, and that brings me to my last thing.
You're fired.
No.
Oh.
You need you need
A
authority to act in some situations. You need to be able to represent yourself as being legitimate. You are legitimately heroes, but you need to represent yourself as having legitimate authority. And he kind of like holds up a hand, and one of the attending servants comes out and hands him a scroll, and he says, "This is a warrant
for your arrest.
This is
We're
a
all
warrant
arrested.
that makes all of you, and he hands it to Lex, officers in the Elatran Navy.
Fuck.
I knew she was a spy.
Lex looks just as shocked as the rest of you.
Jaegerhorn kind of looks at Aom. He's like, in that case, you're now a spy too.
Drake just has looked like,
Oh, spies!
God fucking damn it.
Like an officer, like with a rank officer.
Yes.
And like unwinds the scroll and starts
I
like
don't know what that means.
skimming through
It's
it.
a word.
Oh, This
It
is
means
my
that
personal
you-
hell.
have authority to speak as if you are acting as members of the military.
Because we will be members of the military.
Swab the deck. Keel haul him.
Let's not keelhaul anyone,
And
please.
overboard.
I don't think that's an order unless you're ordering them to throw someone overboard.
I just put
Yes.
my arm around Aom and just like hug them. And just,
How
like,
much
laugh.
wine have they had already?
There's wine on
No.
I know how much
Yes,
I've
there's
had.
wine on the
Not
table.
enough.
And Jaegerhorn says, that way, if you are in need of extra weight to your words, you will have this to.
Now we have heavy words.
Yes.
What is
you
our
have
rank?
heavy weight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lex,
Yeah,
what's
Lex
our
is-
rank?
Lex is reading the scroll.
You're basically lieutenant. Lieutenants. You're not. It's not. You're not.
Or nothing fancy.
Just barely scrape by.
No, I mean it's better than ensign, so we're a little bit up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Leon says, in the meantime, that's all I really wanted to be able to say. I'm going to allow the food and drink to flow, and I'm going to allow my scribes to come in, and they will take down as much information as you can give them. Feel free to tell them when you are too tired to go on, but do your best to give them as much information as possible.
Of course.
And he says, in the meantime, I'm going to bid you good night. I still unfortunately have many more people to meet with this evening.
Do I salute you? How does this work now?
It's
Sir,
not
yes, sir.
necessary.
Okay.
I will die. Axios. Fall on my own sword. I don't have a sword. But...
Do not fall on a sword.
We're not
Aom.
giving him a sword either if he's going to fall on them. That's a
He
not,
What if
doesn't
you fall
need
with a sword?
one. He's better with his fists. Or they're better with their fists.
there we
It's
go.
fine.
Like
All right.
I cannot
Jaegerhorn
describe in
stands
words
up.
how much I hate this idea.
Aaron stands up and he looks around and he says, may the Miss Mother's blessing go with you all.
Drink, you're supposed to salute.
May the light guide you.
Fuck that.
You do it like this.
So with the wrong hand.
She's all like, I swoon.
I don't know what we're doing.
And Jaegerhorn
Just
he walks actually over to another set of doors, and now he doesn't leave the chamber. He goes into another set of doors into the area and walks back into what it looks to be a bedroom area, and he shuts the door behind him. And some scribes come in and they begin asking Sphinx and Val and Aeom questions, and it's going to take several hours for you to detail everything that you encountered
Sure.
in the city. The rest of you, they continue, you know, as long as you're hungry, they'll continue serving you food, wine. They don't necessarily want Val and Aeom to get wasted, but they don't want them to, you know, not be able to be comfortable either.
Val won't drink.
Ale
so-
will.
He'll have tea.
So
While
let's
he's
go ahead and do
talking,
this. Let's go ahead and take a 15-minute break. It is, we'll call it 10:05. So we'll be back here at 10:20, and we will be able to see where we going next. So we'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
Just makes me think of the Lavender Society.
Lavender Society. We
Oh,
are
I
back,
will.
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for waiting so patiently. We really appreciate that. I feel much better. I don't know if you all feel much better, but
I do.
so what are about as Jägerhorn is actually getting up to leave, he motions Lex to you to follow him. Still muted.
Lex follows.
Okay. He goes into his quarters, and he turns around, he looks at you, and he says, "They are heroes, but they're still adventurers." He says, "I need someone who can make sure that they keep trying." You brought yourself up through the ranks in the arenas, and I know your background before that. I would appreciate it if you joined them. Elatris needs their own champion. You've already been a hero to the public once.
As long as they want me around,
He kind
I'm
of smiles and says, I think that you have bonded very well with them.
they don't push when you don't want to discuss the things you're not ready to talk about.
So, will you do it?
Like I said, if they want me to stay, I will.
Thank you. Thank you. That one was partly my fault.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
But he says, I, of course, if we all survive this and everything works out and you want to come back, you will be welcome.
Of course.
Good luck. He gestures so that you can go ahead and go back out.
Yeah, and Lex, nods her head and exits the room.
So, like I said, the rest of the evening is going to be taken up mostly with Aom and Val answering questions and hopefully expanding on some of those situations they're asking about. They are asking a lot of details that you don't have because you weren't there in the initial attacks, and so you could only answer to what you saw, and that was the fact that most of the city streets were already pretty much deserted. There was occasionally wandering patrols, and the patrols were made up of different things, like mostly demons and devils, but there were things like especially at night, they were creatures from the Shadowfell. There was that shadow dragon, remember? And
that. No forgetting that.
So there's a lot of things you can report on, but the biggest thing about it is they're looking for like organizational information. And from what you saw, the city itself was in chaos.
Yeah.
So you can't really expand on it, but you do give them all the information you can. The rest of you, Callie and Drake, and what are you guys gonna be doing? Are you just listening to what Aomen and Val talk about?
Oh, Callie is 100% just like rapt attention. Like, what? Then what happened?
It is
Not
quite
realizing
an
how
involved
much
story.
wine she drank. She's totally getting drunk, not realizing.
Drinking the wine like water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She's so
God.
enraptured, just like, yeah.
Drake is at least gonna, like, seeing everyone kind of there, just gonna establish the link just in case someone needs them. He's actually gonna go back up topside, like get up in the rigging along the mast, and just. He's not exactly sure how he feels about the whole, being a hero thing. For him,
why don't you talk to your girlfriend on the rigging about it?
She did top you. She topped you.
Oh, yes. Yes. Phrasing.
Drake standing at full mast.
There it is.
Sorry.
We're at 10. We are at 10.
Oh my gosh.
Only 10? We're slacking.
Oh boy. Yeah, you guys haven't really, it's been wonderful tonight. It's been nice and calm.
Oh, we got to change that.
Wait, what stream have you been watching?
This one.
I mean, comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you know what.
Compared to last week,
I
yeah.
only had like one
look,
drink.
I'm only counting phrasings though, so.
True.
But no, get up there and just comprehend, because the whole reason he hates the classification of hero is because it's very restrictive.
Apt.
People see heroes and they expect them to do the hero thing, but that also means a lot of things that are a lot less heroic, but that would get the job done, are often frowned upon. So he's trying to come up with something.
So he's just trying to make excuses.
Basically. Basically.
He's doing a lot of mental gymnastics to really get around this whole hero thing.
Just like, not really
Yeah.
a hero.
It's just
Heroic
less.
tendencies.
Like
Maybe.
an anti-hero. Like,
It's
Yeah, like an
denial.
anti-hero,
It's literally denial. It's this is what I am. This is what I've always been. A hero is not one of them.
This
But then
title
there's that
doesn't
other
change.
half of them. It's like, but this is what they need.
literally
It's-
saving people in the orphanage. I ain't a
Right.
hero though.
I ain't a hero.
I ain't a
man.
hero.
I ain't a hero. Don't you give me that time.
Those
It's not
like
four words,
holding,
those
like,
4 letters,
self-sacrifice.
man. Just don't call me that.
don't hold
Don't
the do. I don't
say
like
that.
that combination of letters that make that one word. Just don't do it.
It's a 4-letter word. You're not supposed to say it to kids.
AL.
Damn.
Baby.
You might summon him if you say it 3 times.
Bard.
Oh, no. Bard,
Aeon.
that makes no
Bard,
sense now.
Bard.
Bard's a 4-letter word.
Canon, Bard, 4-letter word.
Oh god. Also, as Lex leaves the room with fucking Jaegerhorn, Aom's just doing this. Just,
I found her name,
she's
it's
walking
Amelia.
out like, I'm watching you.
I can just imagine the minute the door closes, spot me.
Yeah.
Spy.
Literally.
It's like,
But then also like a salute and just like Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Spy.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Spy.
It's like, I can't believe I am now part of the very organization that made me into what I am today. This is great. This is
The military generally does do that. They make you an upstanding member of society. That sort of thing.
This particular military is the reason my family situation or lack of it exists.
My people didn't have a military.
Lucky you.
I don't know what the military is.
I don't think y'all needed it either. So also
served
lucky
like-
you.
I only served for like a year, and that was just like the city guard. So, this is new to me.
I mean, we had the Rangers. The Rangers would go out and do things.
I lived in a church.
Wait,
did.
Church.
hold on. I got an idea.
Oh no.
I can be both technically.
We both what?
You know,
He's a spy.
Callie, remember that story?
Are you gonna
that-
start wearing a mask?
Remember that thing you said about that arachnid guy?
Arachnaman.
Since domino masks in our future, I don't like it.
Look, all I'm saying is, if people see the mask and think hero and don't recognize me when I'm not wearing it, then that means I can do the things that need to get done without people really questioning it and still be the hero in people's eyes without having to actually deal with it. So, best of both worlds.
Just accept your role. It's less work.
Nobody cared who Drake was till he put on the mask.
I mean, it depends on what kind of mask. Because, like, if you just cover part of your face, then they can still see the rest of your face. They're gonna know who you are.
Glasses.
No, that's not
Glasses
gonna work.
Always. We can dye and cut your hair.
A mustache.
No,
Give you a hood.
No,
We're back
The
to the mustache.
mustache
I
would
can
work,
help with the
though.
mustache. I can help with that.
no, we're not doing the mustache.
But it would work.
We
Wait,
can get you a cool accent.
Accent, eye patch.
and I stab people with a psychic knife.
Oh my god.
I
You
don't
could
go
go
around
like-
freaking bragging about that.
Or you could go fancy. I am Drake.
I'm Drake. I'm going to stab you.
Here-
And
here's
I
my
don't know where
fancy-
that went.
Here's my fancy knife. I'm gonna make you into cutlets. Yes.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it, Sam.
Hey, check out my boat. We're gonna go on the lake later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Midwest
Don't
slash
you know?
Canadian.
French Canadian.
Yeah.
We found it. There it
That's
is.
the one.
It's like,
That's a neck.
I'll figure out
Don't
something
get out
when
of
we
my
get into
face. I'll
town.
fucking stab you. Do that one.
Crikey. You seen all the bloody drone ghost.
See, there's
There's so many options.
there's a plethora.
So many.
I'll figure something out.
Whole
just an
cornucopia of
idea.
options. Mustache and accent. I think maybe with the eye patch, maybe without. We'll see. Don't worry. I will start drawing up costumes.
So-
I don't need a costume. I just need something to cover my face.
Then
After
they're gonna
several
recognize your clothes.
hours, Aom and Val are done. In the meantime, did this conversation happen or not? Because did Drake go out onto the deck or did he stay there
did.
and
No,
have this
he did.
ridiculous conversation?
Mental.
He
That's
yeah.
all
he
right.
Oh,
mental.
God, no, I forgot.
Yeah, Val was doing his best to just to pay attention and like answer the questions, but like occasionally will like mentally
Yeah.
like chime in.
Kelly
So-
started drawing pictures.
You
Hey,
guys
almost like
end up,
leaning over to like give pointers on the
yeah.
pictures.
you guys end
Oh,
up sitting
you're
up
right.
pretty late, considering you guys did spend your day trying to help out in the town. So you pretty much, are exhausted by the time you guys are heading back to your rooms.
Yeah.
Are you guys just gonna crash out for the night?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
make my way to the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stumble back down.
Stumble. So you
But
guys.
I will summon Inari, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna send Inari down to Rami to keep her company.
Aww.
All right.
Aw.
What?
There's a lot of fluff in this group.
It's
Can I say
Oh my
Val was
God.
a fluffy
There's a lot
guy?
There's a lot of fluff.
Why'd they-
There's a lot of fluff going around. Big fan of the fluffs.
Yep.
Right, Dan?
One might call us fluffers.
Ah,
Oh,
there it was.
there it
I
is.
was just
There it is.
I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna.
I have
Well-
no filter.
Well, y'all have blessed me because there isn't really a way to do the thing for 11, so now it's officially at 12. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Okay,
Get the
so
13th lucky number.
after all the fluffing is done, you guys go to sleep.
I mean, after
Yes.
It really does knock you out.
Good way to exhaust yourself.
So
Just
so
very so
sorry,
confused.
everyone. I'm so sorry.
No, we're not. Don't
No,
lie
we're
to
not.
them.
No one's sorry.
Right?
No one
I've
here is
never
sorry.
been sorry.
I say
So-
a lot, but that's more of like societal conditioning.
Societal conditioning.
There you go.
Shame is a construct of society.
You can pretend to be disgusted all you want, Ray. We know the truth.
Yeah, it's an It's an American
You made
trait
horny
to, like,
jail.
What?
just bury it deep down
made-
and forget about it.
No,
You did
Malacca
create the
was
horny
horny jail.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
What's
Oh.
right?
I'm the warden. I should know that.
Yeah.
Milagros made horny jail.
Milagros made horny jail. And somehow you got appointed the warden.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure on that, but whatever. I will take my title with pride.
Because we know you'll let us out on good behavior.
Oh, 100%. Good behavior always gets you
On
out.
the best behavior.
Which is exactly why some of us will never get out.
Yeah, good behavior will always get you off.
So, thank you. Thank you. I was about to.
I almost want to take another fucking break. I just so
Right,
fucking
that's it.
derailed now.
We came back with a vengeance. We came
Yes.
back hard.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
I gave you a little break and this happened. We're never taking a break again.
Oh,
Going
okay.
hard all night.
long.
Going hard
Oh,
all
God.
All
Oh,
night
God.
long.
All night.
Oh, no.
Oh. Okay,
All right, so we go to
okay,
sleep. We go
okay.
to sleep.
We
We
go
go
to
to sleep.
I'm
We
gonna
go to
blow up the ship. That's it. I'm just gonna blow it up.
we're all dead.
What then?
So-
No, I'm sorry.
I am assuming. Is anyone going to attempt to get up at their normal time, or are you just gonna sleep and rest?
I'm gonna long rest it.
I will sleep in, but
At-
I will
at
still be
least
up
8
at normal time.
Well, you
Sleeping is-
you don't
is normal
sleep,
time.
so
I don't sleep.
all
Drake
right.
will need the sleep, especially after all that work rigging.
Mm-hmm. So you guys get a long rest. By the
It's 2 in
time
a
you
row,
guys
guys.
are rousing, most of you are actually wake up because the ship is shifting in motion. It's slowing down drastically. It's banking around, so there's your center of gravity is kind of like in your sleep, and so most of you are woken up by these movements. You all, I'm assuming you all get up and go up to deck.
Yeah.
You see in front of you, you see like the top edge of a plateau, right? And coming off the plateau, there is what looks to be, I mean, in all honesty, what it looks like is some kind of mountain was just sheared off, and not perfectly flat, but just sheared off. And from that, there are 8 spires coming off of it. And on those, there are, and it's huge. This is literally a mountaintop. And there are buildings built all over it. And on the edges of those 8 spindles, there are docks and everything built out off of them. You also see that there is trails going down off the mountain that look like to a network of mines that are on the side of the mountain itself, or side of the plateau. You can see on the plateau itself that there is it's like not really suitable for farming. It's like a granite plateau. So there's just little patches of scrub here and there. There is buildings built out here, but you can tell that there's not much agriculture produced here. And you are well in the mountains now, by the way. The spindle itself is built on this narrow plateau. There's only one way to access it from the plateau itself, and that is one of those little those giant spire spindles that go out from the center, and that one connects up to the plateau itself. Everything else, that's the only way to get on there. And you notice that that is the only arm that doesn't have buildings built on it. It has a series of incredibly fortified gates. They go all the way up the spindle to the center. There's 8 gates in total.
That's exciting.
Now that's a defensible position. Unless, of course, you have things that can fly.
And so they basically are, you see that there is, a lot of structures built on the spindle itself. The center of the spindle is probably about a half mile across. And so the majority of the larger structures are built there. But unlike other city towns who would have to build a tower up for the airships, there's no air tower in this city. All the spindle arms act as air docks. What you do see, however, is there is a series of towers on each spindle, and at the top of those towers, instead of like docking stations and everything like that for airships, there are these towers look fairly new, and at the top of these towers you see that there is some of them are still under construction and being built, but at the top of the ones that are done, there are like sets of there's ballistas, there are catapults, and there is all kinds of items there. You don't really recognize them, but there looks like there's other kinds of equipment. There's cannon, there's crystal cannon as well, but all these are on top, so they have basically been building more fortifications to defend the city with.
At least they're preparing for their one weakness. Those defenses down there might help against ground units, and that stuff's for air.
So the ship comes in and it docks, and it takes a little bit, of course, for it to get docked. The other ship comes in and it is in the berth directly across the spindle. And the spindles are not small by any means. The one that you've docked on, it kind of varies in width, but for the most part, at its narrowest point, it's like 50 feet across. At its widest point down near the base, it's like, about 150 feet across. So there's not, like, out here on the ends of the spindle where the ships dock, there's nothing much more than the actual structures for the docks. But as you go further in, you get buildings there that are designed for, like, outfitters that sell canvas, that sell not canvas, but sell wiring, that sell harnesses, that sell tackle, that everything needed to outfit a ship. And the further you go in, the more the buildings become more ubiquitous with a port, which is basically warehousing, stuff like that. You don't actually see a lot of what looks to be residential area on the spindle itself.
My best is those things that look like mines going down lead more towards the residential area, residential underground.
I'm very good at underground living.
More defensible that way, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
Less vulnerable to air attacks as well.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you clog the entrances. Then your home turns into a grave.
Jaegerhorn comes walking up beside you as you guys are making your appraisals, and he says, yes, there is a warren of caverns below, and when you have a city full of miners, it makes sense to fortify your living areas. There are many ways in and out of the city, but no ways that are not known.
Reminds me of the dwarves on Kyrell.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you, Am.
Sorry. Reminds me of the dwarves on Kyrell.
Yeah, we do have some dwarves that are in residence here. Some of their engineers were key to designing the networks and to designing a lot of the traps.
Traps, you say?
Well, yes. If the fighting were to go very, very badly, it would be very, very costly for the enemy to follow us down into the caves.
Makes sense.
Smart. Very smart.
Well, if you build
Good.
them right, people get lost usually.
There's also that.
So,
I made a lot of friends with lost adventurers.
the crew that's
Yeah,
on the
like
ship,
Timmy.
the crew that's on your ship is going to be disembarking. I have already sent word ahead, and the harbor master is going to start sending you candidates as soon as you check in with him. We are having supplies sent over from the garrison. I don't know what you want to do about the ship itself. I mean, other than where the dragon hung onto it with its claws, there's not a lot of damage.
We can patch that up as we go, in all honesty.
And most of the bodies were already policed off of the ship in flight. So there's really nothing more you need to do except for re-equip it and resupply it.
Hmm.
The only thing we couldn't find is there's only 2 of those light ships still on board it. I don't know where the other ones went.
Probably retreated or got shot down.
They were,
It
didn't-
they were
it didn't-
incredibly hard to hit.
Or used in a crazy balls to the wall maneuver. Looks like stares at Drake.
Haha.
That would be silly.
Drake's balls aren't on the wall.
It's an expression.
Oh.
I wasn't being literal.
So, Aragorn kind of looks at you all and he says, I don't know how long it's going to take you to be ready. He says, but in case I do not see you again, thank you.
It's been an honor.
He says, and thank you for listening to her call. And he kind of looks at Aeom and he's just like,
Beats
really
my
not
old line of
necessary.
work.
Kind of
And,
feel like we didn't have a choice, but not complaining.
No, we had choices.
I don't know that we did.
He says, that is how you can discern a good person. When it comes down to the simple fact of being presented with what is normally perceived as 2 choices, but only one of those choices can lead to an outcome that can benefit the most. The good person doesn't see a choice.
That makes sense.
That's good then.
I would say I wish I were a worse person, but I'd be lying to myself.
I'm glad I am a worse person.
You're not.
I'm just
Keep telling
thankful
yourself
that you were
I
all
punched Drake.
available. In the meantime, I am being called away. And he steps onto a skiff, and as it lifts up, Egorhorn's looking down and he says, if you do make it back to Ayla, I would consider it a personal favor if you could see if you could find any information about my partner.
I'll do my best.
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
The skiff turns and goes away. You guys may leave the ship at any time. I mean, I'm assuming you guys grabbed your backpacks and everything like that when you got up this morning, so you have everything on you.
Yeah.
Oh, heck
Oh,
yeah. Rarely go anywhere without the backpack.
Mhm. And literally, all you have to do is walk across the quay, and the other ship is right over there. It's already been tied off. The gangplank's down.
Should we drop our stuff on the other ship and then go see what we can get done?
Yeah.
I know you were the scribes essentially so that you three didn't have to attend meetings.
Sounds that way. Have more time to help outfit the ship and ourselves.
Right. So there's a few things we're going to need: supplies, we're going to need to outfit the ship with more equipment if needed, and we're going to need crew. Those are our three main worries.
Never bought a ship outfit.
Diggershorn did say that he was granting us supplies and things. More supplies, of course, would not go amiss. Some more gear for ourselves, preferably in the way of armor, enhanced weapons, whatever we feel like we might need, would also probably be preferable. And then, yes, of course, a crew.
As you are saying that, Remy comes walking up the gangplank, followed by about a dozen other people. And Remy says, well, we've got the beginnings of a crew. At least as far as Ayla.
That's a good beginning.
And she nods.
Wait. Did you say we like you're joining us?
This is at least as far as Ayla.
As far as Ayla, yeah.
And in the meantime, I can help you make sure that the ship is in top shape.
Tip-top shape.
She's one of the most brilliant minds I know. If anyone can do it, she can.
And she says, and from what I understand, there was apparently an artificer on the ship already. So there is probably some issues that I'm going to need to look into regarding some of the weaponry being very customized.
Ah, right.
We can figure out how it works. We can learn it.
And I would suggest that we be cautious on exploration of the ship. I don't know how much pirate captains trust their crew. So I don't know if anything is going to be booby-trapped.
Booby-trapped.
Yeah.
Leave that to me. I'm quite good at knowing where to look.
No, Val and Remy should do it together.
Mm-hmm. No, that would be a good idea. She would know what she was looking for. They definitely know.
2 eyes are better than, or 4 eyes. 4 eyes
Will
are
you
better
stop
than...
trying to set them up on a date and stop trying to put them in danger?
Shh, Drake. It's a secret.
I don't think it's a secret anymore.
Well, because Drake said it.
I don't think it was a secret before that.
Remy's like, yes, I was totally shocked. I had no idea what they were planning.
Wait, did I miss the secret? What was the secret?
Oh.
Remy just shakes her head and she says, I'm going to go check the engines first, the crystals first, and then I will begin to route back to the other systems.
I'll join you soon.
She says, I've got a couple of topmen. She says, I've got one shipwright. I've got a cooper. So at least we can take care of those spots automatically. And I've got these 3 gentlemen are deckmen. So we've got some crew ready to go. If you want to take a look around, feel free. It's your ship. I'm not going to, be needing much help until I discover what actually needs to be done in a critical situation and what can be held off until you have more time.
Sounds good.
So give me about a couple of hours to start doing a thorough inspection, and I'll have that information for you.
All right, and we'll need to get whoever the new crew is. If there's some that's less experienced, these fine men and yourself, I'm sure, can help train them up to where they need to be so that when you all inevitably do disembark, we are not left without vital members.
It's 5 days to Ayla. I don't know if we can train a crew in 5 days.
I'm not saying train. I'm saying there's bound to be those who volunteer have enough skill to do it. But if they can learn any additional tricks to raise their proficiency even higher, all the better.
Well, see, it's the only real good thing that we have going for this is that unlike my ship, this ship is a cruiser, so it's got probably almost as much gun firepower as my ship had, but overall it's a smaller crew complement and it's a smaller boat. So
It's also faster.
yes, much.
Faster is good.
I'm going to assume it's faster. I've still, like I said, had to make an appraisal of the weapon system, of the engines and everything else.
I trust you.
Good. 'Cause-
As do I.
So I will be down below if you need me for anything. Other than that, I will be back with a report in a few hours.
See you then.
I'm going to take a look on board as well.
All
If
right.
I'm right about things, there may be some interesting bits of information in the captain's quarters.
If you want to go into the actual foundry, I just activated the first map.
Woohoo!
This is the main deck. Loading.
Game is
loading.
paused.
It's very dark for me and paused.
Hit. Oh, sorry. There you go. The game is unpaused.
It is still dark.
It's very black.
Oh, stupid lighting.
Black is the color
Blinded by the light. Lighting.
of my true love's head.
True Love's head?
Hair.
I was going to say phrasing.
Oh my.
Today's phrasing voice is played by George Takei.
George
Oh.
Takei.
Mm,
Yay.
always a fan of Decay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I was zoomed way in. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you might want to scroll out, by the way.
I just saw like this blob of brown. I'm like, this can't be right.
Oh, let me reload because it's still just
Okay,
black.
I found something out that's a problem. Hang on one second. We're going to have to reload the scene in just a second because I need to fix something that I did not know.
That is fair. Well, she's certainly a smaller ship, but most vessels that were made for this were meant to be smaller, faster. They weren't made to be huge cargo haulers or massive gunboats. Speed was important. Having enough firepower was needed. But if you didn't have speed, either your enemies would outrun you or you would be unable to outrun your enemies.
Pretty much. So I'm putting you all on the deck of the ship so you guys can move around as you want. On this deck.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm floating in space.
You shouldn't be. You should be on the deck. Are you on the deck now?
I can only see
No.
sky.
I only see
Hit
Great.
F5. Hit F5.
Okay.
There's a lot of guns.
That's only on this deck. There's 4 decks.
There's a lot of guns.
Wow.
Fire away.
Keep firing, assholes!
How many assholes we got on this thing?
Huh? I'm not supposed to get this. So
Yo!
wow.
that's the main deck.
Lather Skype.
Yep. Let's go to the next one down. This is the next lower deck.
Lower decks.
Lower decks.
Eh.
You and your lower decks.
Oh,
A
I can't see
Deck
any.
for everyone.
So that should be active.
You get a deck. You get a deck. You get a deck.
Everybody gets a deck.
Just reminds me of that GIF meme. Bees!
I haven't put the walls in yet or the doors, so you can move around basically through everything.
I can't see anything. I can just see me. There's no light.
Can everyone just see themselves?
Yes.
I can see the boat, the ship.
I see Drake and the
See
phone.
everyone.
Your
And that's
vision is
it.
not working. Hang on a second.
I see
My vision's
everybody.
always messed up.
I have dark
yeah,
vision,
my
so I can
stuff
apparently
cannot.
see everything, which is great. So I'm guessing that's the kitchen area. So that's the mess hall.
I never understood why they called it a mess hall.
Because the
Are they
moment
very
ship starts
messy
wrecking,
eaters?
no, but when the ship
Sorry.
rocks wrong when everyone's eating, it
Did
gets
everything
kind of
change
messy.
for you, Aom?
Yep.
Okay. I just made you generate light.
Oh wow, awesome.
So this is the next deck down.
They holy.
So this is actually technically
We're
this is the
getting
same
stabbed
deck.
several
This
times.
is the same deck you were just saw. So those are not more guns; those are the same ones. But these are the under what's underneath the forecastle on the poop deck. This is what was
Gotcha.
underneath them. And then so the next deck is going to actually be technically below decks. Let me see if it saves all the configurations. Activated already?
Oof, that's me.
And I gotta give Aeon vision again.
Ah, the engine room.
Make me
Turning
shine.
on the lights for Aeon.
Cool.
Like reverse dark vision.
Reverse dark vision.
You must now have light vision.
And so there's more
Really?
there's more cannon on this deck, and you can see to the rear of this deck is where the crystals would be for the engine compartment, and the generating crystals for everything else.
These guns are smaller.
They are smaller guns.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't judge them by their size. They can still pack a punch.
Stop judging my guns!
Why are we putting are we putting like fists in them? Is that how they punch?
Oh my god.
Don't.
No, you
this
hack them down by fisting them.
You gotta pack the punch.
And this is also cargo in this deck. We'll go to the last one. This is the lowest deck, and this is mainly crew quarters.
Wait. Oh, he's so big. Look at all the beds. There's a red one.
There's a red one. They instantly
There's a
go
red
running
one.
for the red bed.
That's where it's safe to sleep. That's
Only
like
on
a
the red bed?
checkpoint. The red bed. That's how you're safe. Except for if there's monsters nearby, then you can't sleep.
Is this Minecraft?
Yes.
This is Minecraft.
Okay.
My friend group has recently picked back up into Minecraft. So.
Alright, so this is your ship.
Alrighty.
We have
The
a
rooms
ship.
the bedrooms are done in shifts because it is shift work.
What are we naming it? Sorry.
That's up to you. But now that I've shown you your ship, I think this is a good place to wrap up for the evening.
We have a ship.
And you're gonna have a lot to discuss in Discord chat because you gotta think of a name for it.
Indeed.
I think I might. I
thought
think
it was
I have.
bad luck to rename ships.
Say what?
Not when.
I thought there's a superstition, isn't it? Like bad luck to rename a ship.
Not
Like
if we don't
horses?
know the original name of the ship.
And not if it isn't named.
Yeah.
It was named.
Only bad luck to name it after people who will go on board.
People who go on board.
Yeah, you should not name it after a real person who could go on board. That is actual superstition.
Oh
Okay,
wow!
yes, that is true.
Waiting, calling it the Mist Mother, and I don't want her to step on board now, so no.
Hold on.
Alright.
Hold on.
Maiden of the Mists. Sorry. Niagara
Yeah.
Falls.
That's
a
a
real-
Niagara Falls tour boat.
That's a real ship.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Sam thinking.
Yes.
So I know Sam's
Smell the
Sam's
rubber
gone.
burning.
He's thinking. And Sam, if you want me to, I can post all these floor plans. I'll post them into our the channel Discord for the show, and that way you guys can see them. All right.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yep. I can also help educate those who are like, all right, what is this part of the ship called? I can actually name it.
The bottom.
It's called
Re-
that part.
3.5 years on a ship.
3.5 years on a ship.
the ballast.
And now you know why he is the way he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Military.
Cassie, where
Yes.
can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
Besides here on Wednesday nights, I exist over on ADH Adventures on Tuesdays playing Turning Point. We're going to Gen Con. Come see us on the live, the grand stage.
Heyo.
I'm going to be a part of 2 shows there, and we have, I think, 4 total that we're bringing. But also, just me exists as Lady Vamp on the TikToks, the Twitters, the Instagrams. Yeah, that's all the things.
Yeah.
Just trying to think if I missed anything, but nope, that's it.
Sam, where can folks find you on the mighty interwebs?
So you guys can find me here every Wednesday, of course. Tomorrow you can find me over on Turn to Page 394's channel as we are once again playing our Star Wars 5e campaign, which the group is finally reunited after being separated for a decent period of time.
There was some anxiety.
And then a lot of it. Tuesdays, you can find me as well as Cassie over on ADH Adventures, which is getting very, very at the moment.
Yeah, we're in our season finale. Big old boss fight.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
With
that's one way to
pocket
put it.
It's great.
Fucking
Big old
pocket
boss
cleric.
fight.
You love to see it. Anyway, and of course, you guys would be able to find me at Gen Con for both ADH Adventures and Dinner and a Game if I was able to attend. But other than that, that is
CDC
you guys can find me at
CDC sucks.
CDC.
Except for,
CDC.
saving lives.
I mean, they did, arguably, yes, they do good work, but and I appreciate that they do take the time to properly research things, but some things you can hurry just a
No.
little bit.
No,
Yeah,
only when
slow.
they're slow and they're only do their normal speed if somebody is throwing money at them.
Yeah, well.
So, but other than that, you guys can find me on most social medias. I can't say I'm super active because I don't have time for it at Markov & Co. Beyond that, that's where you can find me.
Dun dun dun. Air,
Hi.
where can people find you?
Here on Wednesdays,
Yeah.
and sometimes on TikTok. I'm currently working on a fucking insanely huge build, and
That
so
keeps
that will
on
be
getting bigger?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
I started this a month ago, and that was I actually started it 2 weeks ago, and that was a mistake because I was like, oh, I'm just going to change the whole build before Gen Con because I want to do something different, and that's just not smart.
Con crunch is a real thing.
Yep.
It is. It is.
A real thing.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Liz,
Hello.
where can we find you?
Okay. I just randomly mute myself, so sometimes I have to double check.
Gotcha.
You can find me at variations of at Miss Liz on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and you can find me back here on Saturday morning for our Monster Hearts 2 stream, The Breakfast Club. I'm very excited.
The funny thing is, it used to be that, the Breakfast Club qualified as the horny squad. But now, with the introduction of Liz here, now I see where the influence is and why that happens, and then it comes over here and then boom, exploding. Yeah, she's sweetening this in my ass.
I will play it again. I will make no apologies for the chaos you have allowed me to cause by asking me to join this show.
Oh, it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
I
Love
claim
it.
no responsibility for some of this chaos.
Yeah, well,
We don't
you were,
believe it.
you were present and ready for it though, sir, weren't you?
Tim, putting you and I together is already hurting cats.
My cat is
I don't know what you're
asleep.
talking about.
Sphinx, where can folks find you on the mighty interwebs?
I'm Sphinx Akasha. You can find me as Circle DM on TikTok, Sphinx Akasha, just about everywhere else. You can find me on Tuesday nights right here at Dinner and a Game, playing Emerald Sanctum, which is our World of Darkness open world Orphans campaign, or Orphans Chronicle, I should say. On Wednesday nights, you can find me right here with these lovely people, playing fun fun Kingdoms of Mist and getting all of our hearts broken and our traumas revealed. It's a fun time. On every other Wednesday, not every other Wednesday, every other Friday, you can find me with the Alex Bomb channel playing Initiatives and Intrigue, where I play Badru Kamar, a cleric bard. But on this Friday, you can find me with ADH Adventures, running my own campaign, Agents of the Circle. We are in the middle of the heist, finally, and approaching our season finale. The season finale will either happen just before Gen Con or just afterwards, depending on what happens this next session. So we will find out. On Saturdays, you can find every other Saturday, you can find me with ADH Adventures playing Unlicensed Magic War Crimes, where I play Zan, who is a paladin. War Crimes will also be at Gen Con. It'll be on our Saturday night show. So you can, if you're there, come and check us out. But this Saturday, you can find me with ADH Adventures playing Heroes Arc, where I play Razi El Jahari, a Asamar necromancer who just found out that he's the lost prince of a country of dragon worshippers. So that's fun.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and we don't have to ask who we're raiding because someone has already contributed to guiding the raid and asked us to raid ADH Adventures. So I don't have to even think about that one. But at Dinner in a Game, we always save you a seat at the table. And if you want to follow what we do and how we do it, you can go to all of our links in our link tree, which include links to places like our TikTok, where when we hit 1,000 followers, we're going to be giving away this bad boy, which is a 3D printed tower. It is 4 stories tall, about 9 inches wide, 11 inches tall. It had the front door opens and closes. There's a hatch on the roof that opens and closes. And this thing comes apart. Each level comes apart separately, so you can get your minis inside. And each one of the levels comes apart into small enough pieces to be stored in a high-top shoebox. And also here, if you choose to, you can give us a follow and you will be entered to win this, which is the D&D core set, Player's Handbook, Monsters Manual, DMG. It is the limited edition foil covers, so they are sparkly and they're shiny. They do come in that sleeve and they do come with the DM screen. So if you can give us a follow, it makes us happy and it gets you chances to win prizes. And don't forget, every week we have that 20-minute time period that randomly comes up during the game where we give away tickets for our Mini of the Month raffle. And this month's Mini, where did I put it? Oh, I don't have it on here. This month's Mini is already been shown in chat, so I'm going to have to skip it because I want to go raid ADH Adventures, and I'm sleepy for some reason. Oh, no. Did they just log off? No, they're there. Okay.
Oh, they're there.
They're there.
I was gonna say, I thought they were still. It looked like they were still alive.
Yeah, they're usually later than us here on Wednesdays. So we're gonna go raid ADH Adventures now. Make sure that if you haven't followed them, please give them a follow. They're amazing creators, and the biggest boost you can give to any creator is giving them some serotonin by giving them a follow. Speaking of that, all of our creators here, their links are in chat. Go follow them on their social medias so you can find out what they're doing, when they're doing, and how they're doing it. And remember, take care of yourselves. If you have to go out, mask up. We know the new variant is virulent, and we want you to be able to come back every single week to join us and get those raffle tickets, as well as hopefully join us for these games and be entertained. We love you all very much. We will see you on Friday for Ivy Shadow's Pure Havoc game, and then on Saturday we will see you for Star Shard Stories, The Breakfast Club, and we love you all, and we will talk to you later. Enjoy your time with ADH Adventures, and hopefully we'll see everyone again in just a few days. Good night, everyone. Have a good time.
Mwah.
And we are rating.